You are the first participant on the call. Please hold while we wait for the others to join.
Check, mic check. Sorry, I just did a whole intro there and my microphone was muted. Basically, we're talking to Jordan Lawley, marketing questionnaire, to kind of set the standards, set expectations. Hey, Jordan, what's going on?
This call is being
So, Lawley,
recorded.
Not much, man. Just had a live stream for one of my book reviews and just doing the grind. How's your day going?
nice. Good. Still trying to recuperate from All-Star weekend.
I saw your.
That's a,
Were you putting like your 2 for 2 for training and MVP awards?
yeah,
I like
nuts,
it.
man. 2 for 2, baby. I'm going to use that as leverage. Tell them that I need to train the whole team next year
Yeah.
and have be able to play in it, too.
Well, that'd be dope. Yeah. I don't see why not.
I know. I really am trying to do that. That'd be so good for my brand.
Mm-hmm. Like just like
That'd be
branding
awesome.
and content you can make from that.
Yeah,
No, it's
that'd
funny
be
because
awesome.
I shared one of your videos, like from your story to one of my friends. I've been tagging him a lot. Albert, I play basketball with him, and it was the one where you were with James Harden, and that's all I noticed because I didn't really know who Quavos was, and then he was like, "Yo, that's Quavos from Migos." I was like, "What? Who's that? I don't even know who that is." Because all I
That's too
recognized was
funny.
James Harden.
That's too funny. Yeah, we had a bunch of stuff going on, ton of activation, and been getting a ton of engagement from like all those videos. So it's been really cool. Also, weekend's always a huge event.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
as you can tell, just from my voice, like right now, I'm just so exhausted.
Yeah, but would you say it's like I would say from the content you're kind of putting out there, it's more almost like since you did Trainer's Guide, you're more used to like in the camera and speaking, or how would you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, easy. I'm more comfortable with like the vlog style,
Uh
like
huh.
posting.
Yeah,
Way more comfortable with it.
that's good. See, I'll use you as content for the new people I get in. They're always like, "Oh, I don't know about doing blogging and all this stuff," and I was like, "You got to do it so you get used to it."
Yeah, we really do because it is like it's a necessity. Well, definitely a necessity.
Mm-hmm. So basically, the reason I wanted to call because I know we've been bouncing around this idea of like further ways we could, I guess, leverage marketing. And I don't know if I told you in the last emails, I partnered up with another agency, kind of to do some of the fulfillment. So
Uh
they're
huh.
Dream Big Media out of Virginia. The CEO's Franco, really good guy. He's been helping me a lot with my business as well. And so some of the things that he's formulated on kind of how he wants to help people in his fulfillment is kind of getting like a questionnaire of the business. And I know I've never
Yeah.
actually formally asked you some of the questions I'm going to ask you. It's kind of like, what do you want to get out of marketing, or have you used marketers before? So I kind of just wanted to run that through you and then pass it along to Franco to see, what he thinks that he could do in terms of like his team, because he has a much bigger team than I do. Um, and yeah, so how's that sound?
Sounds good.
All right. So when I was talking to Franco, I went through the questionnaire as like your web manager guy, and then he was like, "Yeah,
Uh
but this
huh.
is all like you speaking on his behalf, so we'd like to kind of get your answer." So I know some of the stuff might sound basic, but since I'm partnering with Franco, I think it would be helpful for him and his team to kind of get your version of how you perceive yourself.
Yeah, of course.
Cool. So let's just get right into it. So exactly do you offer?
So I offer in-person training, both in private, skill, strength conditioning, like pretty much everything that encompasses the training industry of basketball. And then I also offer online programs. Online programs stem from 30-day transformation program, which is more strength conditioning, to ball handling program, to 99 scoring moves, to a trainer's guide to success.
Mm-hmm.
So multiple programs that are online, but the majority of and then I have partnership income. So my brand partnerships, affiliations that I have are a monthly. So I get a monthly segment from certain organizations that I partner with, and that's also a form of income. But majority of my income comes from in-person training. A lot of times, or a lot of whom are international players.
Yeah.
And then I plan on having a lot more reach with my online presence to promote my online programs, because I want to make that a major source of my income.
Okay. So something, just kind of speaking forward, when I was talking to Franco about your business, is that something that potentially you'd want to market or like have ads made? Is, being partnered, brand partners or stuff of that nature? Or
what was that?
Like finding potential brand income, like Facebook ads towards having more people brand sponsor you. Is that something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like looking for endorsers or sponsors. Yeah. That's something that, like I have Dr. Dish, Corvio, also we have Whoop.
Yeah.
And one more, I'm blanking on it. But so I get my monthly income from that, and that's an easy way just to promote. All I got to do is I have my scope of work usually stays the same. It's like 2 social posts across different social platforms. I have to do a blog post for them. I have to, create content or have at least allocate 1 day of filming at my facility or at their facility, where we go and we film for a day to give them organic content, evergreen content. So the scope of work remains pretty similar for the different partnerships that I have, and that's definitely a source of income that I know I can maximize. And I know I've always waited for the right alignment, and I'm pretty selective with the people that I do want to be affiliated with, but it's definitely something that I'm interested in continuing to reach out for.
Okay, I'll pass that along. So what would you say is like the problem that you are solving when people come train to you, in your opinion? Like what are most of the client feedback you get on how you've helped them in regards to when they do business with you?
So you said what the main problem is with my clients that come and work with me?
Yeah, what would you state is the problem you're solving from your clients?
Lack of skill set. Typically, it's a confidence area, level of confidence. So for my younger players, they definitely lack a sense of confidence, and their parents want them to be confident in not just their skill set, but their level of play, when they get into a game. So we deal a lot with introductory skill work or skill refinement. And then from my coach's aspect, it's always brand building. That's the main problem, is they just don't understand, or they want to learn how to build a brand and establish a large social following, that kind of stuff. So those are typically the two main problems that my clients see.
Okay.
That we work with.
Yeah. And what would you say is your, how is your brand unique from your competitors, or your unique, I don't know if you heard this term, unique selling proposition?
So what we do differently than others is we have a very keen attention to detail, and then we invest in our clients versus just being a shell corporation that, I guess shell corporation is an improper term, but rather than being just like this facade of a corporation that's, you go into the program and you're trying to, you want to purchase or get training from, Jordan Lawley basketball because, it has this, this image, and then you go there and you just get some run of the mill, introductory monotonous, program. Mm-hmm. We individualize everything. We make it very personal and unique to the individual that comes into our gym to train with us. So we never train the same way. Yeah. So what my clients get is an attention to detail that where we customize every workout. We customize every time an individual will come into the gym with us, regardless of race, regardless of geolocation, regardless of language barrier. Like, they're going to get a workout. They're going to get a skill set that is consistent with what their needs are, and we're trying to meet their needs as efficiently and effectively as possible. Mm-hmm. A lot of training programs just have the way they train, and they do it this way, and everybody gets the same service. Like a cookie cutter approach. Very, very similar.
Okay. And then in terms of, I guess, continuing on this conversation, what would you say if it was for like a branding perspective? Because when I was doing some brainstorming, like some of the things that I was thinking your USPs were, unique selling positions were, you work with NBA clients, you have this Instagram following, and you're sponsored by certain groups, and like such as Adidas.
Hey, you trailed off there for a second. What did you say?
I was saying, like, when I was brainstorming your USPs, and I was thinking along the lines of, you have your Instagram following, the amount you have, working with the high performing clients such as NBA clients, and then your sponsorships that you already have, at least from a perspective of getting potential sponsors. Like, do you have any thoughts on those, or something you'd like to add?
That I already have a thriving business. This year alone, we should make close to $500,000. So having established myself as a young entrepreneur and built a business literally out of nothing, that's always a good selling point, especially from like the coaches. For a trainer's guide to success, like that kind of section. I'm sorry, did I answer that the right way?
Yeah, I'll add it down, and that's kind of along the lines I was thinking about from my perspective. Okay, I got it down. So
I think, I'm trying to think of what other unique sales positions I've worked or I'm aligned with the other top trainers in the nation. So 5 other top trainers in the nation I have alliance with. So when a client or when an individual or a program works with me, they're also getting the knowledge of a core unit of trainers that I can literally send a call to or send a text to receive an answer or help with their training.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So, have you done online marketing before? I know we make the website and stuff, but
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. I've done 1 Facebook ad and 1 Instagram ad. That is it. I had zero idea what I was doing. I just put
for you?
I just put like $15 to a post, and I was doing it more so for the engagement, like literally just to engage and get more views. So I had no idea what was going on.
Was that early on, or kind of when you were already established?
It was more when I was established. I'd say probably a little less than a year ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I guess also to clarify this, so do you not consider making Instagram posts online marketing?
No, I definitely do consider it. But I've definitely used it as such. I'm talking about like paid advertisements or paid ads.
Or even like paying for an agency or a marketing company. Have you done that?
No, I've never done that, never considered it. always thought of it as just kind of pissing money away.
True.
I don't know, stupid. Well, it's just when I was like wasn't as established, it definitely was, because I didn't really have the programs that were in place that really made a lot of sense to spend money on selling. And now that we have like the 30-day transformation and like a couple other really good programs like that, those should be easy sells. It should be a lot easier to be able to market and sell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess now that I'll just assume based on your answer, considering, right, since we're having this conversation, what would, in your opinion, be like a successful relationship with a marketing company?
Making sure that there was ROI. Like, that's just first and foremost. If I'm paying X amount, I expect to make a margin, like a percentage greater than what I'm spending. So having the assurance, that if I pay for a marketing agency to work for me, that I know for a fact that I'm going to be making more than what I'm paying out.
Okay. And so, besides marketing, have you had like sales teams or sales?
Nope.
Okay. Yeah, because I know on your business. Well, I guess I know.
What's that?
I know for right now, as a web manager, I never formally asked you. A lot of it is done through like kind of the WooCommerce thing we set up.
Yeah.
Do you take, like, if people ask emails or contact you, like how is, if you were to describe your close process right now, do you just like answer the emails and say, hey, you can sign up online, or is it?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
All personalized, all super inefficient when it comes to me actually like having to send. I've been having Max do a lot of the like email, but yeah, before it was literally just me personally handling all the messages.
That makes sense. Okay, so I know I've talked to you about like online marketing. Are you familiar with like I'll just assume like lead generation or like email marketing?
No.
Okay. So the question that I have that we listed out was like, what are your objectives with online marketing? And they have like these examples such as like growing an email database, or making your fan page go viral, or like having your phone just have a lot of phone calls of people wanting to do business with you. Like, did you have an objective, a specific thing that, hey, I'm gonna work with a team, and what do I expect to get?
Mm-hmm. Expect to get money. Honestly, Alan, if I work with a sales team, with a marketing team, I just expect to be able to not have to worry about the sales of my program. Like, I feel I've created my programs, and now I don't want to think about what to do in order to sell them. Mm-hmm. I want somebody else on my team that is in charge of that, is in charge of making me money without me having to really think about anything.
Okay. So this is off the questionnaire, just me thinking about like business formation, stuff like that. Because when I talked to Franco about, in terms of a role of a marketer versus in terms of a role of a salesperson, it sounds like if we were to do the marketing engagement, you would want basically everyone to purchase directly from the site, and not really have like a sales team or salesperson. But if you did want that, you would need like kind of resources to, right? So let's say we set up a Facebook ad and it leads to people going on your website or getting an email. We would still need someone in place to email them and contact them about information. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So based on your response, am I assuming that you would want all of that handled in one agency?
Yes. I mean, if it got to the point where I was Like, I think like starting out, I would think I would try to handle it myself, or at least see if Max could handle it, like for as far as like having somebody like for the sales purposes.
Mm-hmm.
But from a marketing standpoint, like that's my main focus.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously if it got the sales started just come flooding in, then having somebody take over the sales, as the sales team that was a lot more professional with their sales experience, and that would definitely be something that I'd be interested in.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Or do I sound like an idiot?
Totally makes sense. And I'm also just getting more experience that I've been pitching for him, and but so I'll just say that like a lot of businesses that I've been talking to, like outside of the trainers market, a lot of times like what we look for, I'll just say, is kind of they already have like an established sales team, so that when we give them leads, like from Facebook or phone numbers and whatnot, like they kind of already know who their top sales. Yeah, who can close? Who should we send these emails to? Who should we send the phone numbers to? But I do, like, since we've been working together for so long, and I at least from what I've seen, right, and I guess why I'm asking you is I've seen the website aspect of it. So all I see are the emails that come in that are flooding my email box of all these orders coming in, right? So I'm not exactly sure if you do like what your emails constitute, and I know you do answer them on your support email list. But we are starting to develop some of these like squeeze pages, which are more streamlined. Like we have all the information there, and they just click. So I think that's something we could definitely push towards having. In terms of scalability, is just making squeeze pages for like, for example, when I was doing brainstorming, like I think we should make a squeeze page towards like coaching, or not coaching, like actually booking for you, right? There's no like squeeze page, sales page for booking an event with you. Yeah, so like that's something that could be developed. Having copy and a video of like basically what you just said, like all your things are personalized and tailored. Like it says that on your landing video, but if we make a targeted ad towards whoever your ideal client is, which we could talk about, then we send them directly to a page where it highlights it, and then that's where the exchange would happen. Okay, so let me just make down notes. So did you ever write a mission statement?
Yep.
Do you mind sharing that?
I have that. Hold on. Let me see if I have that on my... Hold on. I'm going to press it. Can you hear all the music in the background?
I cannot.
Okay, good.
Are you at the gym?
Playing dodgeball in front of me, and they're blaring "Eye of the Tiger."
That's some good, I assume iPhone?
What's that?
Are you using your iPhone? That's some good noise cancellation.
Yeah. Right? Hold on. You can't tell me that there's no way you can't hear that.
I can hear it now.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
But before it was pretty quiet.
Yeah, so my mission statement was from 2000 and I think it was from like 2014.
Okay.
And it was very concise, and it's something that I never really revisited.
Okay.
But I know not speaking verbatim because I don't have it in front of me,
Mm-hmm.
but it was just to give a passion field experience for every level, skill set player, basketball player. And that was back when my only form of income was in-person training.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely, my current mission statement should definitely change.
Yeah.
But since I wrote one back then, I just never really put one down on paper.
No worries.
Which is exactly like the opposite of what I say on my Trainer's Guide to Success. Freaking idiot. What an idiot.
It's okay.
Thanks for calling me out on that one, douchebag.
No, I think it's just it's like you just start scaling. Sometimes you just scale so quick and you're like, damn, like where did the time go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, literally, like this past year and a half has been the largest like percentage of growth. It's been nuts.
Yeah.
So I just haven't really had time to. It just kind of like happened, and then I was like, oh well, I guess this is the direction of my business plan.
But,
all right, cool.
It's always good quality problems to have, right? You're never
right.
You're never gonna run out of problems. They just get better.
Yeah.
So,
oh man,
where do you see your business in like 1 year to 5 years, or I guess 1 year, and then you could give me your 5-year vision?
So in 1 year, I plan on being a part of the WBTA. Well, and I don't know if I really discussed any of this with you, but it's a trainers organization, World Basketball Trainers Organization. We started up with myself, Michael Lancaster, Tyler Ralph, and DJ Sackman, and we're building a governing force, an association for trainers, for basketball trainers all over the world. Just kind of like how NASM is for the strength conditioning world.
Yeah.
We're creating something for basketball trainers. So
Okay.
we built a dictionary. We're building like a business side of it, which is pretty much a ton of videos, ton of content from my Trainer's Guide to Success.
Yeah.
Similar videos to my Trainer's Guide to Success.
Mm-hmm.
We're teaching coaches how to run events, how to run camps, clinics, and we're using that as an annual membership model. And then our goal within 5 to 10 years is to get bought out by a large organization in China or someplace that has money to adopt our program on more like global setting. Just like, if we have a company in China, like a government official in China, adopt our program or buy us out, then they can instill that program, like they can instill our World Basketball Trainers Association certification into every school for PE teachers, every training program, training facility for basketball training. Like it just becomes something that's more like licensed, more
formalized,
like an organization.
Yeah.
Yes. So that'd be a really that's like the next 5 years to have something like official like that.
Yeah. That's
so that's a big time thing. But in the current, like for the next year, we definitely want to. For me right now, I want to kind of alter. Like I want the international training here in the U.S., like at my facility, to still be my main where I'm getting a majority of my profits, or majority of my revenue. But I want to make sure that my online presence, it moves into a close second. That is just within the next year. That is a must that I definitely want.
So
I want to be able to take advantage.
You're talking about Jordan Lawley basketball and that business, right? Because the first thing you mentioned was like a separate thing you're making.
Yeah. First thing.
So basically, you want to grow your brand internationally more, like.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just having that online presence. Well, the WBTA is an online program, so that technically be part of my 1-year plan is to have that instilled, have that set.
Yeah.
So that way my online presence can continue to grow. But correct, it definitely, I want that to, I want my online programs for Jordan Lawley basketball to definitely ramp up a lot more.
Okay. And then 5 years for Jordan Lawley basketball?
What was that?
For 5 years, where do you envision?
Doing very little. So not running very many day-to-day daily activities. I want to have my own facility, partnering up with Dallas Children's or Corey Maggette, somewhere in Orange County, which we've talked about, and then from there go into having that kind of run on its own, but still having a majority, a ton more online programs to sell.
Mm-hmm. So would you run Jordan Lawley basketball and have trainers underneath you? Is that something 5 years you think about doing? Or?
Yeah, I do that now. So I have Spencer, Tony Johnson in San Diego, Spencer Levy here, Max Fortier here.
Yeah.
So we have a couple trainers. I mean, nothing huge, but we have a couple trainers underneath us.
Okay. So this one kind of goes off field. What is it you say people are buying in terms of the feeling when they work with you?
What are they buying?
Yeah. The exact question that's here is, what is your cause? And then they have what feelings are you selling? What would you say those are?
That's a good question.
Do you want some help?
Well,
I have my ideas when I joined you. So when I joined you and I first saw you in the thing, I was really inspired. What I was buying into was the ability for someone to teach me, and the social proof I saw on the Instagram of that you were doing that for others. So that was my perspective whenever that was. But I don't know if anyone has ever contacted you or if you thought about when people work with you and explicitly said it.
No, I mean, I have had a bunch of people who say man, obviously they purchase online programs.
Yeah.
Because it's inspiring, because they see me do these things, and they think oh man, I can do it. I guess inspiration is a huge thing. Yeah, geez, that's a good one. Good question that I should know the answer to. I think. Hey Max, if you were to buy something from me, what feeling would you be buying? Yeah, if you go to buy a program from me, you follow me on. You'd be wanting to get better, yes. But what is the feeling you're chasing? Yeah. Freaking A.
We can always circle back on this, and I'll put in some thoughts. I'll ping it along your ways, or I'll just share it with Franco, and he has a whole team too, copywriters, people who could generate this kind of stuff.
Yeah, just stuff that I don't really think about. It's a problem.
We could skip to the next one.
Yeah, well, no, I feel like people buy the possibility, the potential of being a professional athlete. Obviously, if somebody has, or to succeed at the next level. So we're selling a possibility. We're selling. We're a lot of the people that come into for our training sessions, they want to get results, and they see the amount of work that we put in. So a lot of the, especially in China prides themselves on their work ethic.
Yeah.
So they're buying, that, they're buying that discipline. They're buying the grind pretty much. They know that when they get in the gym with me, they see, how much we're working with the clients that we have, and they want to get put through that as well.
I'm going to put the hashtag hustle.
Hashtag hustle. There we go. Buy the hustle.
So I know you have your brand story or kind of your brand video that you put on your landing page. Was there like any alternate versions that I may not have seen or that you have updated or?
Yes, the one. So there's the one on my homepage,
Yeah.
and I also have one on my. It was on my YouTube. I believe that's a different one.
Okay, I can check it out. I think it's the same one though. The one that.
Is it the same one?
Yeah.
You sure? I know I have two. One that's more like international. The other one is more like Americanized. Well, I'm just gonna play this real quick to see.
Yeah, I saw the shoe reviews.
Yeah.
Swagging up.
Hey.
Is it
the shoe? Is that a good move?
Is that a good move?
Should I be doing more of those? Yeah. Should I be doing more of those?
So all I could say is if like when I consult to my clients, I say just do what you love doing. And if you really love basketball shoes, then I think you can make unlimited content on it. But if you're more or less like, basketball trainers guy and it's not so much your thing, because there's a huge market. There's like SneakerCon. One of my coworkers was actually like my ex coworkers I used to work with was always telling me about how he has all these basketball shoes and all this stuff, right? So it's a huge market, and it could definitely help expand your brand if someone.
I was gonna say, yeah, I think because it's within my vertical. There's definitely it's like basketball is definitely a lifestyle sport,
Yeah.
And I feel like the sneaker cons that go on, they have games now where they'll play like live pickup games. Like, so if I could get invited to do like a sneaker con event like that, I feel like that would be a huge thing.
Yeah.
Like my Boost You Wear video has 6,000 views, 120 likes, 2 thumbs down, trolls. But like there, I have a bunch of a bunch of people commenting on it. So I don't know. It's something that I'm sure I can do because I get a bunch of new sneakers from Adidas. So it's kind of easy.
Yeah, and something else I would add is like the scaling factor of it is why I kind of recommend just posting to everything. But specifically for Facebook, you could actually make like an audience on, like send ads to people who have watched percentages of your video. Right, so if someone's only send an ad to someone who's watched like 80% or 90% of the video, and then you just think that, like, I guess logically you deduce that they're probably interested. Right, so there's just some crazy stuff you could do now.
Ridiculous.
Or actually, so some of this I consult with like my restaurant clients. You could actually send ads to people whose birthday is coming up. So like if I owned a restaurant, I would just be like, hey, come in to get a free ice cream. And then hopefully when they're there, you upsell them on your other products. But
that's wild.
It's wild, wild west out here with Facebook ads.
That's ridiculous. I wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that one is the exact same one that's on my website. I do have another one. It doesn't have me speaking. It's just more. I don't think. Oh man, what in the world? Maybe it is the same one.
Is it?
I know I have another one.
The only thing I could think of that possibly could be it is the one where it's like J-Lobby Ball gets buckets in China.
No. That's definitely not it.
Okay.
I have one that was done for me over the summer when we had Michael Carter Williams in the gym. And it wasn't like a phenomenal one, but it was pretty cool. It has me like talking in it. And
yeah.
Want me to send it over?
Sure. Yeah, you could ping it, send it on email or text it when you have the time.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to find it.
Yo, you're getting engagement on
It's nuts, man.
basketball one. That's like the most.
God.
I actually don't have.
Look at the Scalabrini one. The one where I was next to Scalabrini, it was like posted 2 days ago and it already has 1.1 million views.
On YouTube or?
Oh no, sorry, on Instagram. On YouTube, yeah, I know. I'm getting pretty decent engagement for the little followers that I have. And then I have Max, the guy who's working for me. He's running my Twitter account now to get more engagement on there.
Mm-hmm.
We're up to 3,000, close to 3,000. We're up to 3,000 followers on there. So we're trying to beef everything up. I'll have him do some more on my YouTube account and see how we can engage. Do you know how we can attract followers on YouTube? You just like do social posting through my Instagram account.
Me or are you asking Max?
I'm asking you.
Oh, okay. Something I do is like the keywords, so I try to hit up the keywords more. So I mean, I can take a look at what your keywords are right now. So this is what I would do. I would add, being your website manager guy and I guess kind of social media guy, I would add all these videos as articles. This is what I currently am consulting people with, is basically just write like a small blog article. So write up a text version of this YouTube sneakers review. So you don't just get traffic from YouTube, you also get traffic from Google search. And so if anyone puts in SneakerCon or anyone puts in Adidas Boost, and eventually Google starts recognizing you as like a shoe reviewer or basketball all in the same vertical, like you were saying, you'll start getting people from that traffic source as well.
Yeah.
But it's more work, but I mean, it is what it is. That's what I would recommend.
How in the world do you, like, where do you put that? You just write blogs on my page? Like, we send you the...
Yeah, so that's what I'm telling like the other clients I have. So it would, like, right now your website, I think we have it on the bottom, is like your latest social media. It could literally just be our latest article.
Blog.
Yeah, or I like to say articles. But, I mean, of course it doesn't matter. You're just trying to get...
Could you do that?
Yeah, we definitely have.
So if I had Max just write up an article on every YouTube video that I post.
Yeah,
that would be good.
You still have to like kind of SEO optimize it, but it's better than nothing, right? Because right now, let's say you just posted that YouTube video on your site, like as a post, like Google it doesn't know what the video is about. But if you write up something where it does know, then you could build it up. And it's kind of the same way with like your Instagram, right? The stuff you're talking there. It takes some time, but like one of the other clients I have, she's been posting for like 2-3 years, and she gets a pretty decent amount of website traffic now, all from Google. Yeah, so it's just crazy. But moving forward,
I think
I recommend
Max just got a new thing that he's gonna have to do. I didn't even think about doing it.
He's gonna
Does that make sense?
Me and be like, Alan, why did you tell him to do that?
Yeah. You have to write an article. I have Max right here. Can you explain to him exactly what that would entail?
Yo, Max. So basically what would happen is, let's do it for the latest one he did with the first look review of Adidas Boost, right? So I don't know if, depends on that, like how good you are at writing copy. What I would do is I would look at the YouTube can make automated, what's it called? Closed caption, right? So I would start from there and then kind of build off the closed caption to write an article about what the YouTube content was. And then we're going to post that YouTube video, put it on his website with that article blog. And so Jordan will now get traffic from YouTube. And then eventually, as he makes enough posts, Google will start, they basically call it crawling through a site or analyzing a site. And so he'll start getting some traffic from like shoe reviews, people who search Adidas Boost. He'll start appearing like on Google and get traffic that way. So
okay.
That is the name of the game. It's a small little tweak, but it's necessary. I'll just put it that way.
Okay.
Because Google
Sounds
doesn't know
good.
what the video is about, so it can't give you Google search algorithms if you don't have any text on your site.
Yeah. So he's just going to take my captions and my keywords, and really just write a synopsis of the video.
Yeah, it doesn't even have to be that long. Like for now, as you're getting started, like I would just like write something. It's better than nothing, right?
Yeah.
So that is something that you could add to the site.
Yeah, for sure. I'm with it.
But it's something I've been telling Spencer, like for the pack, and I guess you could technically implement it too as you're getting more comfortable with like a blogging lifestyle. Is like that could also be an article that you put, right? So like right now I'm working with David Nurse too on his business. It's like, so one of the questions I was gonna ask is like testimonial or whatnot. But if you like write and make a blog post about some NBA person you trained or the week you had. And then you write an article about it. It's just building your brand, building the Google search capabilities, and that's where you'll get kind of it's the I don't have to do anything idea, but you still have to do something, right? But it lasts forever.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you still have to do it, but it will be like a machine as you put in this work, right?
Yeah. The daily vlogging stuff. That's what we kind of did with my my latest YouTube. So we did YouTube about NBA All-Star Weekend that my videographer just sent me. So I'm gonna post that. I'm gonna put that up, and as soon as I put that up, I'm gonna have Max draft up a synopsis on it and just shoot that over to you so we can have that implemented.
Yeah.
The site.
Yep.
That was perfect.
Yep. Because then, like, let's say Google picks out like NBA All-Star Weekend and your name, Jordan Lawley. If someone searches NBA All-Star, perhaps like on the first page somewhere, your article might come up, right? These are
that's cool.
I'm not saying it's going to, but I'm saying like these are possibilities that could happen in 1 to 5 years as you have created all this content.
Yeah.
Okay. So I actually have a call at 4:30, so I'm going to try and get to the meat of the questionnaires.
That wasn't the meat?
No, what I was just saying was like some complimentary consultations.
Oh my god.
No, but okay. Do you I guess I've never asked you this. Do you have any like service or guarantee offers, claims, or testimonials that you I guess would differentiate you from I don't like the word competition, but or competitors. I like to think of everything as like what you were saying, like an alliance or collaboration. But do you have any of that stuff?
No. I mean, I have testimonials that are on my site and like the ones that I've given you, but they don't have any like guarantee, like money back guarantee, that kind of stuff. I don't have any of that.
Okay.
I guess I do for like the online programs,
Yeah.
like for like a 30-day transformation, but
we started
nothing for in-person training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think it would be possible to get that? It's like, so when you were telling me about like how your international people were kind of like I don't know if they're like the pricing of them or whatnot. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. But basically, if you got a testimonial of them, we could literally target people in China or whatnot and be like, hey, look at these people who've traveled internationally. They train with Jordan Lawley.
I have a 14-minute testimonial. I did an interview with one of the guys that got done with the 30-day transformation with me, and I sat down with them and we just went over kind of like his process, talked about the things that we saw, the things we worked on, what his views were, and he did it in Chinese. That's pretty money.
That's money, cash money, actually.
Yeah.
Okay. And so in your opinion, the way you get leads right now, without putting words in your mouth, is all just Instagram, putting stuff out there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. No sales team.
Like I have a Chinese business manager that manages my my WeFollow, my WeChat, like that stuff, and that helps out a ton.
Okay.
He's got me some pretty big clients out of that. But a lot of times my content lives organically, and I get organic traffic. Like for the people that reach out to me for 30-day transformations,
Yeah.
see my stuff on commercials, on like, see my stuff all over the place in China.
Really?
So like the Chinese, all my Chinese clients literally come from my Chinese social media.
Would we be able to
And
get those commercials?
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
All lives on One Ball. It lives on. I have a ton of those videos.
Okay. Yeah, because that would make our lives easier, assuming you don't move forward with digital marketing. So if we got you 10 hot leads, right? Let's say we ran you a Facebook ad and it said, put in your email address and we'll send you something. What would you want to happen from those leads? Like
based off of what they're asking.
Like the possibility could be like they call you, they email you, they like your page, they buy online, or they book a consultation, or I guess what it means now, or what applies to your business.
Buy online.
So
buy online. I don't need any in-person business. I'm sick of it.
Well, does the buy online include, because you do your training sessions, is that part of it? Like
no, I'm talking online.
Yeah.
I'm talking like online programs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which is
unless they're a high profile MBA guy or a high profile, which nobody's going to be looking on Facebook ads for a trainer if you're a high MBA guy, or if they're a high profile client in China that wants to come over here for a 30-day transformation. Like that is for my in-person training, my 15 and 30-day transformations are the only things that I sell.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that I try to push or promote. I know my weekly group sessions will live on their own. I know they're gonna.
You there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, there was like some feedback. Okay. So how much would you say your typical customer pays?
On what period? Like how long?
So let's say weekly, monthly, and annually. And if you don't have averages, you could just say like, you've had this amount of client for this long and stuff like that.
Crap. I mean, just in a 30-day period, they can pay $10,000.
Okay.
It just depends on clientele, but I guess the average client would pay $60 a week over the course of a month. Probably between $200 and $400 a month.
Okay. Well, I'll just do the math for annually. So I know you mentioned this to me before on your highest priced item, which is like that 30-day transformation, but like in person. Is that what it is, or would you say like if it's a high-profile NBA player, it's a higher price?
No. NBA players are like usually 175, 150, 175 for private. Like I don't give any discount. I don't give a premium rate for NBA guys.
Okay.
I give more of a premium rate for the remedial players.
Yeah.
They're the ones who are a lot tougher to work with. It's a lot easier to work with a NBA guy.
Okay. So then, is the highest price thing did you say it was like 10,000, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's the one that we have on your site if they come.
What?
But technically anyone can do it. You've just been having international people do it, right? But if someone wanted to, they could. Okay. And would you consider your products to have profit margins, or it's just like time?
Yeah, just time.
Okay. lowest price I have down, it's your like
Shooting machine.
the shooting machine, or technically it's your digital products, right? Your tennis ball.
Oh yeah, yeah. Tennis ball, 1995.
Okay. And off the top of your head, what would you say is the product that generates the most sales for your business?
Online products or like in person?
Just your whole business.
My transformation products, the in-person transformation products.
Is that from a quantity or a monetary value standpoint?
Monetary value.
Actually, just thinking about it, like I'll discuss this with Franco. I would just be like, let's just get a bunch of more Chinese people.
Yeah, like honestly, like
send Facebook
honestly,
ads, right? And
no, I'm dead serious. If I can get 6 a month,
my job is
if I
done.
can get 6 a month, that's $60K. Like $60K a month.
My ROI is done if I just get you one.
Yeah.
Technically. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't want to skew Franco, but I will definitely tell him that is we'll brainstorm on it.
Yeah.
So off the top of your head, do you think, or like for your in-person ones, how much could you take on? Like if we got you a bunch of leads, like how much more clients could we take on?
Well, I mean, for the group sessions, it's not taking on anything more than what I can hold, because I can just throw them into another group session.
Okay. And then you're talking about like a trainer takes over, or how does that work?
Yeah. So I could just, for like the kids that I would toss in the group sessions, I'd just make my groups larger. So that's not an issue. I can take on a bunch more of like the groups. But for like a 30-day transformation, it would probably be, they'd probably cap it out at 6 a month.
Okay.
But we have between 1 or 2 a month now.
Okay.
So like we have months where we had 1 month where I had three 30 days and 1 10-day.
Okay. So what if like we filled up your private sessions? Like how many do you think you could do there?
I'm already filled up.
So you can't grow there.
I can't go there.
So literally just the group sessions and the 30-day transformations?
Yeah, the online stuff.
Okay. Would you be fine if we made advertisements or marketing saying that you're booked, or is that something you don't want to do?
No, for private sessions, I love saying that.
Okay.
It drives traffic so much when you tell people that, hey, I have a wait list for private instruction.
Yeah. Okay. Have you considered raising prices?
Yes.
Okay. I'll pass.
It'll probably happen soon.
Yeah. So do you have like a demographic that you want to target? Like,
Chinese.
Okay. Well, before I put that in your head, did you have? Would you say you had another idea, or it was always that?
Always that.
Okay. I will. So the ones that you have, do they have a particular employment, or like kind of thing that we could possibly target them on Facebook that you know of, or?
It'd be like WeChat.
Okay.
Like they just WeChat, Weibo, like they just have kind of engagement on there. Instagram, because a lot of them use VPN services to see me on Instagram.
Yeah. Okay. And so I know you said you were forming the alliance with those the top trainers. Is it DJ Sack and who else would you say is people we could like?
DJ, Michael Lancaster, Tyler Rowe.
Okay. And are there other people that you're not partnering with but are kind of in the same space that you'd like to partner with, or?
Yeah, Paul John Fabrice, Kevin Williams, Drew Hamlin.
Okay. And do you know if they're doing any online marketing?
Yeah, they're doing a ton.
Okay.
Drew lives on there, and Paul does.
Okay. Do you know what type? Like email, social media?
Everything.
Everything. Okay. What about, do you know if they do like traditional marketing? As in like billboards or radio or direct mail?
I don't know. I have to ask.
Okay. Well, we'll do the research.
Yeah.
So I guess since I am running overbooked, I guess the most important thing, or not the most important thing, from the remaining stuff I have left is if we run like a giveaway or contest, are you fine, or do you have any like objections or what you're willing to give away? A budget, I'll say.
Probably. I mean, honestly, I don't know what is normal, but just from a means of what seems like it'd be a lot would be around $1,500. Just because I don't think, other than this past December, January, I don't think I've ever made more than $1,500 from like my online program.
Yeah. Okay. So you're saying like a max capable, like let's say we decided to give away a certain amount of copies of your tennis thing as a giveaway, right? Like we said we're giving 100 away for free if you sign up.
No. Oh no, I wouldn't take that into account as as part of my cost. I'm thinking of like hard costs, what I would be paying the month for like a marketing team. For somebody to help market and drive ads.
Okay, no, the question was more or less like, what are you willing to give away from a product perspective as a giveaway, right? Like,
anything to make. I'll give away anything.
Okay, like even in-person training or a group session.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gladly.
Okay. And
because I know if I get somebody into the gym, I'm gonna upsell them.
You're gonna close. Close it. That's good.
ABC.
What's that movie? Like Michael Gilbert? I don't even know the movie.
Michael Scott. Michael Scott.
Have you thought about doing giveaways or like how much you're willing to do? Like, would you give away like a 1 week personal training or is it just like a one time? Have you thought about that or?
Usually when I do my giveaways, I give away like shoes.
Okay.
But like shoes for follows and that kind of stuff. But I wouldn't mind giving away. Would not mind giving away like some private training.
Okay. I think I'll pass it on to Franco, but the last time I thought about like what you could give away that technically wouldn't take your time, like how does your shooting machine work? Couldn't you just give that away like a month of access to the shooting machine and then eventually you just close that person?
The shooting machine sessions?
Yeah.
I'm actually teaching them during the shooting machine session. Yeah.
Okay.
So they're on the shooting machine. I'm standing right there coaching them.
Okay. I need to see if that's actually on your site. Is that on your site saying you do that?
Yeah. Yeah.
I could check. But yeah, that was something that I could think could be like a mega giveaway. Like you're like, hey, get like, I'll just frame it from my perspective, playing basketball, wishing I had a shooting machine. Be like, we could target people in California. Be like, do you want access to a shooting machine? And then we'll say like this amount of value, like how much you charge, like $50 per person. Like we'll give you 3 months access to a shooting machine, and it doesn't actually involve you being there. And then like they get, like you could do an introduction. They could get shooting machines, and passively as they come in, could like see you're training people, and then that's where you upsell them on like private training or whatever you're doing.
Yeah, that'd be smart. That'd be really smart.
Just gotta develop it. Or you could start pitching that yourself.
Wow.
All right. Well, that's cool. I didn't know you teach them. Players will learn the special mechanics involved. See, I think with a lot of your stuff, like getting into like your train page. So something I would recommend possibly. It sounds like you have a videographer guy who would make you this content. Is like explaining that. Like I as your web guy, did not know that you teach people during the shooting machine. But like, let's say we had a link there and you could click it, and then it, like the same way we did with your like the trainer's guide for success or the squeeze page for the like the online 30-day transformation. It kind of explains what they're gonna get, right?
Yeah.
So something to think about. But I will pass along this questionnaire, all these answers, and I think the next step is we're gonna come up with like a marketing plan, and then I guess you could just choose what you want to do based on what you feel is right. And I'm gonna be on that call discussing with Franco and his team because I definitely think, based on this conversation, I'm just like, let's just target the Chinese people.
No, for sure.
Let's just send Facebook ads to China. Or first off, we gotta make sure that China has Facebook. That might not be possible.
Yeah, China doesn't have Facebook. They have Weibo, which I also have. So
okay,
easy sell.
Yeah, we'll have to do some brainstorming. I know that we primarily, or what I have started focusing on is just Facebook ads because it's so crazy.
Yeah, that might be a little bit tough. But there's like, so if you take, there are a couple of main markets. This is the last thing I'll say, and I know you got to go.
Yeah.
Boston has a huge Chinese market.
Okay.
And Irvine, like Southern California, has a huge Chinese market. So LA, Irvine, San Diego. If you just take Facebook ads and market to those the colleges that are in those areas, even not even colleges, but those areas, that's where I get it. 30-day transformations. They come from Boston, or they come from here.
Mm-hmm. So
that's why my thriving is because Irvine is the mecca for international students coming to go to school. And once they get over here, they just want to train for a month, or when they're in Boston, they'll come out here for a month, or when they have kids, they come out here for 4 months so their kids can be naturalized. Like I have a 30-day transformation that's in the gym with me for 4 months because he just had a baby. So like those are the ones getting into agencies, like those agencies that have that are put in place for people coming from China to have babies. Like they're agencies that do that, and they put together homes, live-in maids and nannies, like put together all this stuff for them, and that's what we would, I guess, market toward, are those types of agencies.
Jordan, you're doing the marketing work for us. You don't even need us. No, that's actually really good. Because something that we do is target like schools, or if they've like what schools they've attended. I guess to get the demographics, like Facebook has that stuff, if like their ethnicity and stuff like that. And I'm just thinking forward in the future, but this will probably come up in this like the marketing business solutions, but. If you could start getting like testimonials, like I mean, this is just what I would recommend, like just in general, like the getting video testimonials. And I know a lot of people are asking you for video testimonials, but I think you should do it for your clients because you're like, I was working with Mike Tellers and Tony and all them with your video testimonials for them. I think you should do the same for your most expensive product because it's like gold basically.
No, I'll definitely do that. I'll try to knock some stuff out today, which means that I probably won't do it, but I'll think about it. I'll think about doing it out.
Well, it's in your head now, so now you
Yeah.
have the option.
Yeah, right.
Jordan. I'll just
Go handle your business. I know you're 15 minutes late to your next call, so I won't keep you any longer.
All right, Yeah,
and
I'll
then
keep you
let me
posted
know.
when we get it done.
All right, perfect, man.
All right.
All right, appreciate you. Talk to you soon.
Yep. Take care.
Bye bye.
We are running late. What is Andrew's number? Olson. Thought I called him before, like multiple times. Alright, I got it. Alright guys, we're running late. Just had a long call with Jordan Lawley. And now I am 15 minutes late to my next one. God, not looking good.
You are the first participant on the call. Please hold while we wait for the others to join.
Yo, Andrew?
Hey, how's it going?
What's up, man? Sorry I'm so late. It ran over. Oh, man. How's your day going?
All
man?
good. It's going all right. It's actually a little, this week it's been pretty cold out in San Diego, and then
Really?
been sprinkling and a little bit of rain, but yeah, I think in the night it's gotten in the 30s in some parts. So
What the hell? Has it
yeah.
ever been that cold before? I don't remember it ever being that cold when I used to live there.
Yeah, I think a couple times a year it'll happen. It depends like what part you're in, but no, it's obviously tolerable, so I can't complain.
True. I sent you the email yesterday with Will's number. Have you ever heard of that program that he was blaming for not getting his emails?
I saw your email. I just saw that you sent the number.
Oh yeah, that's
but
Will's
no.
number. Yep. He was
Yeah,
basically blaming it on this thing he integrated his Gmail thing with.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I don't know. I think his phone's all messed up and all this stuff because he also said that when I was pinging him on Facebook Messenger, he was like, I sent him like I asked for his number when you told me to ask for his number, and I saw him at basketball, and he's like, dude, I never got your Messenger thing. And then he messaged me like later that night, and he's like, I finally got your message.
Oh god.
So I think something's going on, but that is his number.
Yeah.
And
got
feel
it.
free to ping him and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely reach out, but yeah, it was kind of weird. I was like, well, I thought things were going well, and then I like sent him the NDA, and then
Ghosted.
I was like, did it scare him away? But I was like,
Ghosted.
at least could have been like a courtesy, not interested anymore type of thing. But
Yeah.
hopefully, yeah, something just came up, and then we'll proceed as everyone hopes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean, just from my experience, and I started asking around since it seemed like before I played basketball with them yesterday that we might have to look for like another data scientist. So
Okay.
hopefully, what Will says, and I mean, I'm sure now that you have his number, he'll respond to that. And if he doesn't respond to that, then he's definitely ghosting us or something's up with this thing.
Right.
But so some feedback I got from other people, like from I reached out to like my tech alumni association. They're saying that it's gonna take some time. I don't know if Will kind of brought that up, or maybe Will's just a genius. But he was saying that like the amount of like terabytes of data that you would need to get something like functional is a lot. And what I was telling them for like from a business standpoint, and I don't know if don't want to speak on your behalf of where you want to take perfect shots, but I think that, you know, as you sell this as a product, right, it would be good for, let's say, you know, if I were to do it, if you sold me that a machine analyzed it as well as you analyzed it, right? It doesn't have to be a perfect model, and we're working towards getting a good model, but I still think you could get paid, get money as you build it out. So I just want to pass that along.
Yeah, that's kind of how I envisioned everything. Like, you know, regardless of if I am able to pursue the technology at this moment, you know, I still am doing what I'm doing, you know, from like a personal level, and you know, from, you know, having a couple other people do it, you know, in our, you know, subjective way, so to speak.
Yeah.
And then, you know, if there's any technology, and that's kind of like what interested me so much with talking with Will was, you know, he didn't say no, and then he's like, you know, there are a couple other things that we would, you know, he would need to know specifically, but I was like, I know what it's going to take, and I'm sure that even if he could do everything, like, I have to tweak things, but I'm assuming he couldn't do everything, so I would still need to tweak things. And that's kind of, you know, what I know about what this whole thing is, that it is going to be constantly kind of tweaking, and so it just needs to kind of start and get the ball rolling, and, you know, just understand, okay, I know it's possible, it's just at to what capacity, basically.
Yeah. So I guess we'll just move things along with you could keep the contact with him. I know you sent him the NDA. Hopefully he got that email. I'm not sure if he ever did or not. Maybe you guys could arrange like another form of communication, or he needs to fix his Gmail.
You kind of, I know you said sometimes the volume goes in and out, but you just disappeared for a little bit.
Really?
There.
Dang it! I need to fix my OBS. Have you configured OBS yet, or started making stuff?
So I was recording some things, and I realized that my computer, like, I didn't have a microphone. So then I was like, oh, I need to get a microphone. Then I was like, went down this rabbit hole, and basically the last 5 days, you know, I've been putting orders into Amazon.
Oh,
so
God.
I ended up getting a webcam, so I would have like another angle to basically do the video stuff.
Yeah.
And then to do that, I got like a USB hub to house more objects. Then I got that light you suggested. I got
the CN one or the bigger one?
Whatever one you sent me. It's
okay.
it's the CN one.
Yeah, the 160 I think is what I sent you, and I think I sent other
ones too. Yeah, I got that one. Then I got so I was thinking, I don't know how it will display or come out, but what you were suggesting for like the video card or the adapter was like for a desktop, right?
Yeah. Yep. And then
you
had a laptop, and then I showed you for a MacBook, but I don't know. There's another one that's like USB, but I haven't tried it, so I can't like.
Well, yeah. What I was thinking, and I was like, okay, if I have this USB hub, or if I get an HDMI like hub or splitter or whatever, then I could just set up my camera to an HDMI to like the camera has like the micro
A
HDMI,
workout. They're gonna get
and then you can just plug it into, if I had like another screen, then I'm getting the display on that screen, and then OBS can just capture that screen.
You're going deep in the rabbit hole.
Right?
Let me think about this. So you want to display your camera onto one screen and then have OBS record that screen?
Yeah.
Because okay, so the one that I sent you was like a USB in, right?
I think so.
Like okay, so I know, so off the top of my head, there's the Magewell USB HDMI, and then
Right.
you said you want to have multiple cameras.
Yeah. So, or what I wanted to do, and right now I think I have too many cameras, but I was trying to figure out what the best route would be, and then I think the one that you sent was like, I don't know, $200 or $300, and then I was thinking, well, what if I just had the micro HDMI and hook it up to either a screen, or my laptop only has one HDMI, and so if I just have, a HDMI hub that you're able to, just have whatever's on the camera display on a screen, and then you're just recording through OBS the screen.
Okay, so I don't
And
think it works
basically
that way because, like, OBS records what's being outputted from your laptop, so it needs to go into your laptop somehow. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So it's not actually recording the screen; it's recording what is being sent to the screen. So that's why when you have the HDMI in from that like Magewell capture card that goes into USB,
Mm-hmm.
it's saying like let's capture the HDMI from a webcam or the DSLR, and then
Mm-hmm.
however you want to utilize it is what's being put in OBS. And in this case, they say it's a video capture device.
Got you. But when I do, or the way I would interpret, because I have two screens, right?
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I feel like a huge nerd with all this.
I have two screens as well, so no worries.
Yeah. And so, but if you had a third screen, right? Couldn't OBS would be looking at the third screen, or you could capture what's on the third display, right?
Yeah, but that display is still hooked up to your laptop. So to capture a camera, you need a way to capture the HDMI out of a camera. You can't just hook.
Right. And so what I was saying is, basically if you do what I'm doing, it's $60 versus $300. But
No, because okay, so if you get a hub, right? If you send
mm-hmm.
the output of your camera to a screen,
mm-hmm.
the OBS isn't recording the screen because it knows that the screen's there. It's recording it because it's sending signal to that screen. But right now, the signal's not coming from your computer. It's coming from your camera. So it's not just going to be able to record that screen because you tell it to. Does that make sense?
Kind of. But what I did, so on my second screen right now, I have a micro HDMI. I plugged that into my camera.
Yeah.
Then I plugged the HDMI to the back of my screen. And so now my screen displays what my camera's showing.
Yep. But then how are you going to record that screen?
Then the OBS is just recording that screen.
But OBS can only record that screen because it's outputting something to that screen. It can't just record a screen like that's not connected to the computer. Does that make sense? Like right now your monitor is connected to your camera and it's not connected to your computer.
Right. Yeah, well, like I said, I thought I was doing it. I was like, okay, well, the clarity would probably be better on my camera
Yeah.
because it can do like 4K and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But was I got like a Logitech webcam,
Yeah.
and it's pretty good. And so, like I said,
Yeah, those
I
webcams, some of
I
them
have
get 1080 and whatnot.
yeah. So it has 1080. It's pretty solid, and
Yeah.
I think it was like $32.
Yeah.
So
I always say
I
just
got
start somewhere, right? You don't necessarily
right.
need your DSLR hooked up.
Exactly. So, but yeah, I did the camera version because I didn't have the micro, and it cost like $7 or something to get one of those.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, okay, well, I have this, and then I was like, well, if I had another screen, then maybe this would all work. But when I got the the webcam, I was like, okay, this will definitely work for now.
Yeah. Definitely starting somewhere is better than the like the discovery phase. So
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
free to like
yeah,
share
and then
content or whatever you want someone to look over something. I'll be happy to give you some feedback.
yeah, and then when you said you were gonna be late, I was turned on an OBS studio tutorial. Just started watching how the guy, you basically make the
Yeah.
the overlays and just make it look more professional and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I actually like try to stay away from that stuff. At least when I do my
really
live streaming. Yeah, I just try to make it like just all presentation.
authentic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I do some stuff, so I just did a live stream today on one of the books I cover.
Mhm.
And I made it like if you played an OBS already, we have multiple sources. So I had one source come from my camera, and I made it take the bottom right corner of OBS, and then the other parts of the screen was
Mhm.
was a slide deck. So
Right.
like a PowerPoint. So I do stuff like that. And
Gotcha.
then, yeah, and then I have in my background like a whiteboard or whatever, and I draw on that.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. Well, that was kind of my hope with having the 3 cameras was I could, set one up where I could be like standing and operating on my whiteboard,
yeah,
and then the other one, could, do the face and stuff, and then the other one, different angle or whatever.
Yeah,
But
so what I
this
ended
is
up doing is like I will talk into the camera, and then I'll draw on a thing, and I'll kind of like zoom in the camera, and because I have a monitor, I can see where the picture is going. So
right.
kind of basic setup right now, but I need to get another camera. But
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely a fan of this little Logitech one right now. So
okay,
yeah, not
you'll have to
but
ping me that link. I'm either considering
yeah.
getting like another DSLR or just getting a webcam.
Yeah, well, I got like the middle one, and like I said, it was $32, and I know that there's a better one that's like 60. It's like 60 or hundreds of dollars for DSLR. So, so it's up to you in terms of the quality, but so I guess that was enough of the OBS, right?
Let us get into what we're going to get into. So I actually had a plan of going over like a questionnaire to kind of get more feedback from, because I talked to Franco about what I was doing and the website stuff, and he gave me pushback on being able to deliver stuff and information I didn't have about your business. But if you were gonna just jump into something, feel free to stop me.
No, I guess. So the main issue is right now just finalizing the app and the website, getting it linked up together, and debugging and all that. So but I know that we can still do like market research at whenever, and testing certain things and videos, and the article thing on the website, that's in place for us to, or for me to start generating dialogue or articles and get that rolling and going. So on the back end for stuff like that, we're set up and in place to do those things. So yeah, so there's that stuff, and my whole plan is or what I'm hoping to achieve is do some research, and then okay, this works better than whatever. It's not always going to be perfect. Like, this is clearly the perfect option because you can't test that many things, but it's like, okay, this is the best option. Let's go with it and push, forward, and then, adjust or tweak along the way. And, just hoping to have somebody to help assist and guide through that process.
Okay. Yeah, so it sounds like you're more or less thinking of like a marketing or business coaching role, which I would definitely love doing. Or if Franco decides, he wants some expertise or help with that, I'm sure he'd also like help me along. But I guess it for me, it would be also better to kind of ask these questions because basically Franco has coached me up since he's a bigger agency than I am. And so I'm kind of helping him out, and he's helping me out.
Right.
Because I could do like web design, and he like his bread and butter has been Facebook ads, and
Got it.
with like sales pages and stuff. But he was basically saying that when you I guess the questions I'm about to ask you are kind of like prospecting / qualifying questions, because at least in his opinion, right? He likes working with a certain amount of businesses who have. So I kind of went over this in a live stream I had, which I'll be happy to send you the link to that. But basically, it's like if like as an agency, right, and if we're trying to focus on one product that's supposed to like doing everything, right? So he focuses on Facebook ads. I'm kind of like website / marketing consulting / Facebook, right? I'm kind of all over the place, and he's telling me to narrow down a niche.
Right.
Like if we
that's what Billy always says too.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about, because I actually was watching some of Billy's stuff too. So Billy just does Facebook ads, and he says that like he says this as well, that if you send people leads but they don't have a process in place to like close on the leads, then it's tough, or they blame you, or whatever. Like, I personally haven't experienced it because I just like take whatever, but I'm thinking about that stuff now. And so part of I guess figuring out more formally about your business would help basically Franco in developing content or deciding what kind of things you need to get made, right? Because there's always a lot of stuff that you can make. You can make a landing page, or you can make a sales funnel, or we could just focus on like Facebook ads or Google ads, right? But I think we need to like kind of dive deep formally, or at least in my opinion, because I don't think we've ever actually like talked numbers and stuff like that, or processes. So that's what I was hoping to do.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm happy to kind of go over whatever questions you have or hoping to answer.
Your
but
tone of voice went from like, okay, I guess.
No, I
think it's
good. I'm open. Like I said, I just want to proceed and keep things moving, and I want to figure out a plan and
that's exactly why I
kind of go with it
too, because that's what Franco like has specialized with, especially since he has more experience than I do. And so basically after this questionnaire, we're gonna get together, brainstorm with him, and he develops marketing plans. So his business model is kind of like just give value. I give a marketing plan. If you don't want to if you don't want to go with Dream Big Media, you could go with any other agency and do the same thing, because that's what we think will work for you. And of course, you can always get other marketing plans, but at the end of the day, you still got to execute on one of them. So,
right. And so I'm happy to answer whatever questions you have or want answered. I would say that when it comes to revenue and just like how long the app has taken, and then also from a testing standpoint, and is I want to, in some way, shape, or form, again, kind of coming full circle with the name Shot Analysis, and that's, creating the technology is the plan moving forward. But in the meantime, can I just, develop the business and start making revenue off of analyzing people's shots?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of, I'm going to do it and implement it as soon as possible. I have a meeting and call with the web developer later on today about, figuring out what makes sense from that standpoint. Like, I could start today and say, hey, DM me your shot and on Instagram, and I can start analyzing it that way.
And that's definitely stuff that I talk about in the questionnaire, but like just kind of to get into the answers and with the people I've been working with. So I literally just did this with Jordan. But like we talk about ways that make you unique as a business, right? So for Jordan, he was talking about how he works with NBA clients or stuff like that, right? So if he did want to do a shot analysis product offering, right, or whatever he's trying to do, that is what he could do. So I'm gonna get into it. It's actually like one of the second questions I'm gonna ask you.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it also helps because some of these questions, like even I apply them to my own business of stuff I should have, like mission statements and stuff like that, and it kind of like grounds you at least in terms of what should be, I guess, should be in place as a business owner. Because a lot of the stuff I have to implement myself, like I need to build out a sales team.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so in your words, what exactly do you offer? And as Billie Jean would say it with one of the videos I watched, how would you explain it to a fifth grader? But that's not actually the questionnaire. Right. I'm just saying that because you know Billie.
Yeah. Yeah, well, are you asking me personally or the business?
You, as
the
business owner.
Okay, gotcha. Well, yes, so Shot Analysis is a one-stop shop to improving your shot, learning from NBA trainers, tips, drills, as well as professional analysis for overall shot improvement.
Okay. And what problem does your service or product solve?
Shooting efficiency. So that's it in a nutshell, but basically shooting hasn't improved in 20 years, and we have the knowledge, the resources, and technology to improve it, faster than anybody.
Okay. And how do you know what USPs are? Unique service. Well, I don't even know what it is. I think it's unique. God, embarrassing. Hold on, let me bring it up. But it's basically like what makes you unique from your competitors.
So I would revert back to myself and Jordan are the ones behind it. I am a undersized, basketball looking person who is, was able to become National Player of the Year and have a lot of success in basketball. And Jordan as well as a overachiever, and we work with NBA clients.
Okay.
That's kind of bullet points.
Yeah. Okay. Would you say do you know if you have like any sponsorships or like connections that could also be like, I know you mentioned before you've been talking to like NBA teams. Is that something you think you could leverage in terms of we're going to be using your answers as possible?
Yeah. So we, have worked with several NBA teams. We've, I know Jordan can too, but we can ask and reach out to those people for testimonials and stuff like that. But yeah, working with teams and players, and then in addition, there's college teams, high school teams, and basically working with players at every level and having success stories.
Okay. So this is not off the questionnaire, but just thinking off my head of possible issues. But did you ever sign like NDAs with the people you've coached or stuff like that, in which they wouldn't want to be mentioned in an ad? Or
No.
okay. So are you guys doing any online marketing besides your website and I guess Instagram?
No. Just social media and everything personal at the moment. Like I think I put like $100 into Facebook just to kind of test some things. Yeah.
Just curious. So did you make multiple campaigns, or did you just do one campaign and boosted it up $100?
So I had a friend that was kind of just starting or kind of learning Facebook, and I told him that he could. No. Yeah, no, just a friend, and I was like, yeah, I'm willing to throw some money to try to figure out things as well. So we basically, did enough to get the pixel, and then with the pixel, I still don't even really understand the pixel, but we started to.
Do you want me to explain it in my words right now?
Sure.
So let's say you have a specific landing page like shotanalysis.com/March Madness, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And the only people who would ever go to that site are from like a specific like Instagram. Let's say you only post that link on Instagram. So you would put a pixel there so that everyone who goes to March Madness, Facebook will now say track those people if they are like logged in, have cookies, whatnot, right? Then Facebook will gather information about everyone who went to that March Madness website.
Right.
And that's basically what Pixel does, is you get to get Facebook's information that they have on that person from from that one website. So ideally, or like from what I know and from what I've implemented for people, you want to make multiple pixels for specific landing pages.
Right.
And I think the most powerful one you could do is you put a pixel on like your not your checkout page, but your successful checkout page, like after they bought and where you say thank you. And all of those people are your buyers, like people who actually want to buy. And then you literally just go into Facebook and say, give me people who are like these people. And then the idea is Facebook is so great that it will hopefully give you a list of people that you should send your ads to, and they'll probably buy from you as well.
Got it. That makes sense.
That's kind of Facebook ads in a nutshell, but also Facebook Pixel. So let's start our agency. Let's go. Let's compete with Billy.
There you go. I'm in. Okay. I got 3 cameras to prove it now.
So in your words, or in your opinion, what would be a successful relationship with an online marketing company, or like, I guess, so I'm trying to focus specifically in Facebook ads, but you could just say what you would want from your definition of a Facebook, or not from a Facebook, from a marketing company.
Just, I'm a personable person. I enjoy relationships, so I think like having a good rapport and understanding that people are invested and have the same interests, that's important to me. And then kind of basically just results, like, okay, are we getting results? Are we working well together? And just being able to communicate well. And I understand online marketing isn't perfect and whatnot, but for the most part there is a science, so to speak, and just kind of being guided along the way to work together. But yeah, basically just communication and relationship, being quality, and then, okay, how are we getting results?
Okay. So if we were to run like ads for you right now, what would you want them to do? Like not the ads, but like what would you want the end result to be? If you're familiar with what
Well,
ads could do, and then I'll kind of answer
yeah,
after you give me your answer.
yeah. So just getting them, uh, or I think we have content and information and a story to
Mm-hmm.
get people interested to get to a landing page.
Okay.
Um, I just want to do it in the most efficient way. Like that's the purpose of shot analysis, is to make each shooter more efficient and the most efficient that they can be,
Mm-hmm.
or at least aware of how to be the most efficient person
Yeah.
possible. And so ultimately that's what I want to do. And I'm not great at, you know, controlling and analyzing the back end stuff, when it comes to the marketing. And so what I want to be able to achieve is, okay, now once they're there, how do we optimize it and then convert them to, paying customers.
Okay. Okay. So some of the things that we typically see from answers, and
Hmm.
I'll give you a chance to like kind of re-clarify, is like we could have people sign up as an email list, right? Grow your email database, or we could
Hmm.
have like your page go viral or get likes, like a specific action, right? Or is it
Right.
having people call you and say that they want to, or like contact you, or sometimes it's
Hmm.
just like getting it out there so that people are aware that you exist, right? So you kind of said that in terms of like landing page. I would
Yeah.
maybe brand that as like brand awareness.
Hmm.
Or do you want like buy? Because some clients I work with, they're like, I just want people to buy. Jordan actually said that,
Yeah.
and it's really tough to do that actually from cold traffic.
Hmm.
So I guess, do you have a further response based
Well,
on the explanation?
yeah. Well, I mean, I think simply from a business standpoint, it's, I watch. I think you mentioned too the Shark Tank, but kind of the O'Leary approach, where it's, money, right? The purpose of a business is to make money, and so yes, the short answer is yes. I want, from a marketing standpoint, from I want people to be converted to paying customers, so to
Yeah.
ultimately buy. So that's kind of the goal. I think from an awareness standpoint, like the relationship with Jordan, and like I said, our story and network, and kind of the access to certain people, we would and could have the ability to grow and expand
Mm-hmm.
with a successful product behind it, if that makes sense. And so,
Okay.
like, if we have happy and paying customers, and they're kind of like, oh yeah, this is great, and doing some of the, the grassroots awareness, so to speak,
Yeah.
I think that Jordan, myself, and the people we know have a network to really expand and grow, um, once those things are in place.
Okay.
Um, and
So
so,
like typically with this question, also with like some of the other business owners I've been talking to, like sometimes they'll want like emails because they already have an email marketing thing in place, or they just want you
right.
to get to a landing page because they already have a landing page in place. But
Hmm.
if you end up wanting to have that, like there's definitely stuff that either like Franco could actually make for you, or I could consult you, or even help you make. I'm just thinking in the future of,
Hmm.
once we get this marketing plan nailed out and send it to you.
Right.
And then really it's just like choosing, what you want from the Facebook ads or what you want from the paid advertising.
Hmm.
Because yeah, not everyone's gonna buy from a sales page, even if you do have a sales page, but sometimes they do, right?
Right.
But they always say that like in closing, I guess if you've, what is that one movie like Gary Glenn Gary boss like always be closing. I don't know if you've
Right.
seen that, where it's like if you get him on the phone, that's you
Hmm.
probably make the most calls closes there. But I
Right.
don't exactly know what product offerings you would have in order to like make up ROI from a marketing standpoint.
Yeah. Well, that's again, just talking with Billy, he was like, at your price point with the things that you're selling, what you discussed with the cold sale or whatever, it is
Yeah.
pretty difficult. And so I was hoping to leverage a again the there's a couple different ways to go about it, but just like the shot analysis portion. And so
Have
you
you
know
done that before? Have you shot analyzed and asked people to pay?
I've done it a few times, and then I do it in person with people like clients and things that people that I know.
Okay.
But I haven't even marketed or tried and said, hey, well, um, you know, pay me $30, $50, whatever it is, and you can do a Skype call, or you can get, in what the way I'd want to do it is, submit a video, receive like a report card type of thing.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's kind of the entry point. Then there's the phone call or Skype discussion, and then there's the on the court while you're on the court, we're having a video like conference type of thing.
Okay.
And
what about if they want to do
so
in person? Do you do in person trainings?
yeah. Well, I'm just thinking from like I know you could do it in San Diego, like Target do Facebook marketing and stuff like that, where it's just San Diego. But I would ideally like to just do it kind of
Remotely.
over. Yeah.
Okay. So
and
one of my
I was
clients
even
actually does this, and I don't have his numbers because I never did this questionnaire on him. But according to his current website, he puts a $400 package on it. Which
right. It was like super random. Jordan was whoever that guy's name is. I forget it right now.
Yeah.
But
David.
Jordan, what's that?
Was it David?
Yeah.
Okay.
And David and Jordan were like doing Instagram live meeting or whatever, and I like happened to turn it on, and I was just like, oh, this is interesting. And I looked him up, and I saw that as well. But they were like talking about it, and I don't know if people actually pay for that or sign up to do it.
So
but
he's actually one of my clients. I don't know if I never asked him if he's okay with me saying stuff. I actually don't know because I haven't actually looked at his thing. But I don't see why not, right? I mean, there's like crazier things I've seen people pay money for, right? And I think if you just if you have the ways to have buying temperature, which I think you're totally capable of doing, right? If you can showcase that you've worked with NBA players and that you, especially with what you said with your background and how you, like everything you're getting into. Oh, and side note, I got that Alan Fine book. It's actually really good. I'm like really hooked on it.
Right.
Like some of these things you could share to build your brand. I definitely see at least you could test it on your website or some website. I don't know if you want to put it on chat analysis. It would make sense to go on that domain. But just from
and that's what I always think it's important to just understand everything at its capacity, and then adjust and pivot. And that's kind of the way I teach and coach, is like sports in many ways are like a business, where the people that survive and continue to move up the ranks, they're just better at adjusting, right? And so, like, for all I know, shot analysis could evolve, and we're just like this this you know, website where people are just submitting their videos to get analyzed by NBA trainers, you know.
Did I send you the info on like business value ladder plans?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, basically, it's this idea where you just have different product offerings at different pricing, and you kind of want to upsell people to your higher priced stuff. And right now, at least from what I gather from your website, and we'll get into this in the questionnaire, you don't really have that. You have like your two products that are kind of the same price. Where Jordan, I don't know has Jordan told you his?
For what?
Like his value ladder plan. Like he has like his trainer's guide series, and then the prices he has on his website are like $175 for personal training, and then like he has this like transformation package, like 30-day program. And the in-person one, he says he charges $10,000. So like that's his highest price thing. And I definitely think that there's stuff that you could develop. Like you could make a 30-day shot improvement program, and charge premium for that. And especially if it's in person, if you were to go coach someone for that, and say like if you come to San Diego, come to my gym. Well, I don't know if you're trying to be a trainer or like what you're trying to do, but I'm just saying in general, something that is possible. I could see people paying money for that.
Yeah, and so I like love the in-person stuff, but it's extremely time consuming and obviously very hard to scale. And I've always tried to, you know, go the approach where Jordan is I am J-Law B-Ball, right? And it is his name, his brand, and everything I usually try to do, I try to go I am shot analysis, right? And then I want to, you know, be able to scale and brand things, and yes, I could do it, but I want other people to be involved and participate and grow. And so that's always my goal, my vision is to do all this. But I know right now, like I have to be the you know, and so
the weird thing about Jordan's thing though, I just asked him, is that he, even though his business is Jordan Lawley basketball, he still has trainers underneath him.
Right. No, and like, no, and I understand that, like, you know, there's tons of people. I mean, you look at the, you know, just anything where, you know, sometimes it works where it becomes this, you know, the name or the brand is the person, and but in most, you know, industries and things, like from a scaling standpoint, it's better to kind of be somewhat corporate or have a bigger entity. So, but yeah, that's besides the point, like, you know, naming, branding, whatever. But yeah, for right now, and like what's been awesome about, you know, just teaming up with Jordan is he, you know, his network is pretty vast, and he, you know, has the number to every, you know, other major trainer. And what I noticed, again, like 5 years ago, before I was even aware of this, the social media and some of these people, but it's like I, amongst these people, are, you know, somewhat just specialized in shooting, right? And so I'm fine with, okay, so-and-so being a skills trainer and Jordan being the, you know, more all-around trainer. And not that I don't think I have the capability or don't believe that I can do a great job in training every aspect of the game, but it's like I want to be this niche, and this in this niche, you know, it's important to, you know, to the game of basketball, and it's like that's what everybody is focusing on now. And the goal, you know, would be to, you know, first to market and the name or the brand that is, you know, so focused on shooting and that people are coming to.
So going off topic and more into like a consultation role, you know, I could even see yourself like adding to the website like like a podcast series where you just interview like these
Mm-hmm.
social media, these guys you speak of, and especially the ones who are into just shooting,
Right.
because it's a double, it's a win-win, right? You
Right.
get information from them, and they get exposure to your audience. And
Yep.
if they don't see that, then they don't understand social marketing media.
Yeah.
But that would
Well,
definitely be of value.
yeah. No, it's funny. Like we, like I've done a lot of videos and things with Jordan that we haven't even released yet.
Yeah.
Like we started doing. When I was traveling up to LA, I would just stop at his place and we would do like a vlog, you know, and we would just record it. We'd put a microphone in between the padding and just sit underneath the baseline and just like talk about something for like 10 or 15 minutes. And we did it, but we never released it. I didn't know the platform or how to do it really at the time. This was like a year ago.
YouTube.
But no, yeah. But and then I was like, you know, trying to figure out, okay, what, you know, how to just, you know, unfortunately I'm a perfectionist with some of those things. I was like, oh, I could just, you know, post it raw, but then I was like, okay, well, you know, people are doing all these clicks and these things pop ups and stuff, and so then I was like trying to figure out how to do that.
Stuff. I mean, you could, but like for me, like I think it's part of my business as well. It's like I'm trying to encourage people to like get in the action mindset first. And if I posted too much stuff that was too much heavily edited, it would basically, what you're experiencing is like this, like they need to learn more than just what is like the bare minimum. Because the bare minimum is like people have made it with no editing. Right?
Well, that's what I'm noticing is like, you know, it just comes out to like putting yourself out there, being authentic and being consistent, right?
Yeah.
And so, but the issue was, you know, we would do one of these little vlogs and then, you know, talking about the NBA or something, and it's like now so much has changed with like the people we were talking about or what was, you know, relevant at the time, and now like the video doesn't necessarily work or whatever.
That's
so
a bad thing and a good thing in that
if
you're in the space, you always will have something to talk about.
Yes. But yeah, so, you know, like for example, last year we recorded like who should be MVP, Harden or, you know, Westbrook, you know. And he's like, all right, I'll take Harden, and then I was like, all right, I'll take Westbrook. And then we just like so yeah, we just like, you know, had a little debate about that. And so like there were things that we started to do and like I want to integrate and have and post and everything. And so that's always been a goal and a vision, is like, you know, having stuff like that, whether it's once a month or twice a month or whatever like that. But, you know, putting it and posting it and having the content, which hopefully will in some way, shape or form drive traffic. But then,
you know, I always think that I'll also add to that. I'll just frame that everything I say is to encourage you to just post stuff, but like even if the stuff that you made a year ago never gets posted, I think that it's like you still get value from that, in that you practiced it, right? Jordan is right now just starting to get into that vlog kind of mindset. I don't know if you saw any of his like NBA All-Star stuff, but you could notice a switch in the kind of content he's making where it's like him speaking in front of the camera, and that took him a while when he was making his trainer's guide to success, right? He had to work on getting used to speaking directly in front of the camera, where before he was just putting like, here's a drill I'm doing, right? He wasn't saying it, he was just doing a drill. And now he's becoming more of a personality, and that takes time to kind of develop that habit or to get that comfortability, right? So even if you don't ever post that thing, still in the back of your mind, hopefully you will remember this conversation I say to you, and also be like, I at least practiced it, and you know, eventually you'll come to it was like, I'm just gonna post it. Because that's
Yeah.
with a lot of clients to take on. Like for example.
Well, I was gonna say like that was actually something I realized was very beneficial. So like Jordan's actually really good just himself in front of the camera, and he has a ton of practice and he's good at doing that.
Yeah.
And I'm decent and I can do it, but I did so much better when it was like a conversation, like a debate or something that was back and forth.
Yeah.
And it was
you
kind of
had
like
someone there in person, and then.
right.
Yeah.
And so, in just thinking about like the radio, like most of the time people have like co-hosts or whatever, but
Yeah,
they're
definitely.
the guy like a guy I listen to a lot is Colin Cowherd, and he's had his own show, and he's like very rare. It's like Howard Stern. A lot of these people will, just have their own voice and their own thing. And so like it works for some people, but like I said, it was just a very good learning experience. I was like, oh, well, if I have another person, I can like talk with them and interact with them. I had, someone reach out to me to do a podcast, and I was like, oh, I thought that went, pretty well. But it was like them asking questions and just kind of, a conversation. And so, you just learn certain things, and you're like, okay, well, maybe
this consultation session I'm having, or that I put on my like course, right? I just post this like live. Like in fact, this is live streaming. If you want me to send you a link to it, because it does help, and like these things get picked up, subtly of what the values are of my business and the values are of your business, right? And I just like I don't even try to like edit out the good parts, right? I just like put it all out there because I don't know, I think it's like organic, and then also it's like if like so some of the course I make like it's basically like what Billy Jane's doing, like helping people become digital marketing agencies. Like if someone really wanted to do it, they would watch the full video and they would try to pick up on it. And a lot of people, they kind of just want like the answers or the shortcuts, and I don't think that's actually where the learning or growth comes from. It comes from like seeking it out.
Right.
Time to edit that part. Make that an Instagram quote.
Yeah, for sure. But so I don't know if I'm sure we deviated from the questionnaire.
I'm on the first page still. All right, let's go. Let's keep going. Let's go back on track. So how long have you been in business?
We've been... So, I mean, I started with the concept about 3 years ago, but we've just, about a year ago, we launched the ability to purchase the online, not the app, but the online version of the app.
Okay.
And within like 2 or 3 months, we kind of pulled back on it.
Yeah.
And then because we were like, oh, we can actually build an app. And then it has been this like 9-month process that we thought was going to take 2 or 3.
That's life though. It's cool though. At least now you have an app. So. Yeah.
And it was just like the perfect storm of, all right, well, we usually have to build an app for iOS and Android. And then is basically done with almost both of them, and then he like realized Facebook and a bunch of these other people, they have this other coding or language that you can, I forget which one, but it's like, oh, you can just do one, and then it's like, all right, well, if we need to make updates and do things, like it makes sense to have one, so start from scratch all over again. But
so if we get you these leads, do you have like a sales team or salesperson, or do you want them all going to you? What have you thought about that if you do start marketing?
So I mean, I have people that could and can help me, but early on I think and want it to be me. if possible.
Okay. And how are you currently getting people?
Like everything's just organic at the moment. Like I said, we tested and did some things.
How are you getting website traffic? Is it all just like your Instagram and those links?
Yeah, it's just organic
Okay.
social media.
Have you done like posting to forums or been on someone else's podcast or that you know referral links to from like Google Analytics, or you're not sure on your website?
I'm not sure, but I'm don't think that happens or has existed.
Okay. So because I know it's like the app's still there, but you still have like the web app version, right?
Yeah.
What are the demographics of those people?
So it's mostly kids that are the ones that have signed up, but I know personally that there's of the people, so like I have no clue if it is a kid, that the email address is, because I know personally that there's kids that I have referred and they went to my camp, and then I'm like, I know them and I know their parents' names. I'm seeing their parents' names, so like there's this weird dynamic of, even when it comes to marketing, are you marketing to the parents to purchase, or are you marketing to a kid to tell their mom and dad to buy something for them?
Yeah. Okay. So let's say you had to like make your ideal customer. Who would that be?
I think the younger the better, because the pool, and the probability of it growing is better, but obviously there's a point where it's too young. So I would imagine like a middle school kid, like they're extremely impressionable. They want to do what, the fact that someone works with an NBA player like holds more value to like, these people. And then I feel like the audience is larger, because with every year, kids are going to realize they're not good enough, or they're going to, change to just focus on baseball instead of basketball and baseball, or, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And so the pool of people goes down. And so I think that the paying customer is kind of like the middle school, high school.
Okay. So just thinking about like going off topic into my knowledge of Facebook ads, what if we like targeted college and targeted people who had interest in NBA, stuff like that? Like, would you want?
Yeah. So I mean, the other thing that is absolutely beautiful about this whole product is it's international, right? And the fact that US, is the end all for the best basketball, and everybody wants to, international people don't really care about college basketball, right? And so they only care about NBA, and the fact that NBA players, like, they just hold so much more value to international people. And so, that's a huge market where I think the older demographic would be would work, or I think it would be better, like, if you're going to target like 25, 20 to 25, like, international people would be better than,
your relationship
here.
with Jordan? Has he, I know he's like marketing, but does he allow you to target his Facebook page, or have you guys written up something like that?
No, we had, like, I've just been telling him, I was like, all right, when it's time to go, I'll let you know, basically. And and so, like, he had done some things, and I, it was working. Like, we posted something, I think, we were like, I think it was like, all right, there's a week to sign up or 2 weeks to sign up, and like 1,500 people signed up,
Uh-huh.
and this was a year ago, when he had 100,000 followers or whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
And so you're talking
so
about a direct Instagram post about it.
yeah, like
Something
stuff like that.
like if I'm to answer this own questionnaire of what, like, I don't know if Billy ever talks about this in his course, but like when you start building like a digital marketing agency and you start getting these clients, something that
Hmm.
you can sell is that you have these clients and therefore you could like use, it depends on what you wrote up in the contract, but you could
Hmm.
basically like use their page as well as people you could potentially target. And Facebook used to
Right.
actually allow you to just target anyone, and then they got rid
Hmm.
of it, right? And
Yeah.
now that was like a big selling point of being an established agency. Is like, okay, Facebook got rid of it, but I have these people as clients, so you want to work with me.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
so the only reason I bring that up because you already have a established relationship with Jordan.
Hmm.
Um, I don't typically do that unless like I ask the client if he's okay with me using other clients to target their page or whatnot.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you were, because basically I'm basically pitching both you and Jordan the Facebook ad
Right.
stuff. So
No,
I was just wondering if
no, and that's why I partnered with him, is because his network and brand is awesome, and so I everything I've asked of him, he's basically said, yeah, that's fine. Let's do it. And so, I wouldn't imagine him having a problem with it. But yeah, that's the type of thing where, it makes so much sense to, leverage everything. And so it's just like, okay, put everything down on paper, understand, and then,
well,
attack
I'll
it.
even say like for your business, right? Not just
Hmm.
you have networks and like not just from an agency perspective, right? If you were one, but like you work with
Hmm.
NBA and whatnot, and these could all be used as copy and sales letters for potential Facebook ads of um, like if we could get a video made showcasing, you're working with Jordan, you're working with NBA people, you're improving people's
Hmm.
shots, and maybe we put like a graph that's going up of like actual data that you've recorded. Um,
Right.
like that could be an easy ad, quote unquote.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you saw my Instagram story. I posted something last night, but
Today or
um,
last night, it's still there, 24
yeah,
hours.
yeah. But right now, like Julius Randle, that's like my main client. Like
Yeah.
he's eighth in the NBA in field goal percentage.
There's no story anymore.
What?
Or
Should it? I
maybe
posted it last night. I changed my name on Instagram.
wait, there's still a shot analysis though, or was it your other
Oh
account?
no, it's not on shot. This is my personal.
Oh, what's that?
So it's shoot coach.
Oh, got him, bro.
Yeah.
You're crushing Instagram, bro. Can you teach me? Can you
No.
make a lesson on your
No.
course
So
on
what?
Can you make a lesson for my course on how to blow up Instagram?
Well, I had somebody that they had like 4,000 or 5,000, and they're like, just use Instagress, and this is like a year ago, and I started using it, and then it shut down, and I was like, okay, but it's
By that
amazing
time,
how
the growth had already happened.
well it started, and then I kind of just rolled it into a different one, and it was working, and then it stopped recently, so I was like, okay, I don't know how to what the next step to kind of continue this, but I was like, I need to find a way. But it's amazing how like just those bots of just saying like, hi, look at my page, and then people just check it out and end up, it's crazy.
Yeah. That's funny.
um yeah,
I saw
but
the Randall one.
yeah, so yeah, he's eighth in league, but like when I started working with him, he was 44%, and then we're off season, and then he was 49%, and now this season he's 55% and eighth in the league.
Mm-hmm. So like this is like this is like perfect ad stuff, right? Like
Oh,
you
right.
go on I think it's like stats.nba.com, and they like partner
Right.
with SAP.
Yeah.
And, like, just get
That's your old company, right?
Yeah, that's what I used to consult for, or not them, but like a partner of them. But it was still their
Oh,
stuff.
gotcha.
Yeah. And just be like, boom, you guys want to see a graph? Like, numbers don't lie, guys.
Right.
I
Right.
trained that guy. I could train you guys too.
Right.
Okay.
But yeah, it's basically like, okay, went from, below average in the NBA to average to eighth and top 10 in the league.
Yeah.
So
because honestly, like, I just think, like, I don't know what Franco's gonna come up with and what numbers and if it matches your thing. But even if I was just to like give you advice or as a consulting role, like, I think you just need to make like these. I don't know if like sales funnels. You could ask Billy about them, but basically, you just showcase how you've helped Julius Randle, and then make it a video and a copy where you're telling your story, you're telling the people you've helped, and then you kind of lead into that you could help them too.
Right.
And I'm sure you could find out an organic way that matches your personality and your branding and your voice, and then just see if people respond to it, right? Because a lot of times when you make these ads or these ClickFunnels or these websites, like, it's hard to get anyone to look at it. So that's why you pay like, I don't know, $20 a month and get at least 1,000 people to at least view it.
Right.
And then just, you never know. Right. And I hate phrasing it that way, but like, that's sometimes how it is with marketing. And you were saying earlier with your half court shots going in. Oh, I'm actually about to ball today. I was gonna say, have you ever worked with a weighted ball? Is that something you recommend?
I don't like them, but I have worked with it.
Okay. I was actually doing it yesterday, and I was practicing like my 3-point shot. And then like, after I got done with it, it was like my shot was off, but it was like it felt like it was so light. And
yeah. Well, it's like using a donut for baseball, like same kind of concept.
Yeah.
But
it was awesome though, because I started playing and I was just pulling from half court, and it just happened. But everyone was like, "What the hell? Like, why is this guy shooting from half court?" And I started making it. And I was like, Piccolo
there you
from
go.
Dragon Ball Z.
Nice. But no, one of the things that I think is so important with shooting is like your touch and your feel, and those weighted balls. It's hard to like. I use the word like flick, like it's like flicking off the tips of your fingers.
Yeah.
And because it's so heavy, you like can't quite get that, and so you end up kind of like, in
losing it,
layman's terms, like shot putting it, kind of.
Yeah.
Where and so like the feel and touch, I think, is the most important thing. But like to warm up with it and just like make the ball feel a little bit lighter. It can help in some ways.
Okay. Nice. That's an article right there. Right? Just make an article about that, and then put an Amazon affiliate link on the weighted ball in case people decide to buy it.
Yeah. See, it's like stuff like that where I'm like in this position where I have, I think, good ideas and things, but it's like, hey, just do that, this week, or do this. And it's like, okay, like I part of me, I just want to be like told what to do sometimes, instead of trying to think of everything and do it all on my own. But
you're definitely in an authority bias that you can definitely leverage, especially with your clients. It's definitely something you may want to consider taking advantage of.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this questionnaire. God, we're just all over the place.
Yeah.
Do you have a mission statement?
What's that?
Do you have a mission statement? And if I were to guess one, you're gonna say the improve the efficiency of NBA. But was there?
Yeah. So I came up like on the website. I haven't looked at it in a while, but there is on about shot analysis. It says our mission, our story, and our team.
Yeah.
So I mean, we've written it out. I'm sure it could be tweaked or adjust.
I'm gonna put it on the website. But a different thing though is the brand story. Have you ever had or considered making that, or what that would be? And are you familiar with
No.
what a brand story is? So brand story is like why you went into this industry, or kind of like, yeah. So like for me, when I first made my like my fitness business,
Yeah.
before I did Blendlogic, I had like the brand story was I had, so this is all true. I had hypertension. I was diagnosed with hypertension. I started taking more medicine than my mom was taking, and I was like, and I felt like really bad after like taking the medicine, and they tried to like tweak it, and I was like, this is not how my life should be. So then I tried to find other ways to like get off the medicine, and it happened to be like organic diet and all this stuff, and then that is my brand story of that first business I started. So
Gotcha.
do you have one, or off the top of your head, like we could help you develop one, but like right now, if you were to say one, like a reason why you got into the industry?
Yeah. So the short answer is I was really good at basketball, and
Step one.
But yeah, but the way, like, after taking a step back, I realized that what made me a great basketball player was like my mind and my ability to like outthink and outsmart people. And so and basically be more persistent than everybody. And so I had a theory and a hunch that, everything was moving towards shooting, and I, just started researching shots, and that's, kind of the short story, but like the more like, oh, like yours has this like emotional, element to it. And so like I would say kind of with the mission, the branding thing is like, I just was so curious about why people missed short all the time. Yeah. And that kind of like sparked my interest. And so, I realized that analyzing, an entire season of, NBA shots, that like 45% of jump shots players miss short. And so I was like, okay, clearly this is an issue. And, as the byproduct, I created a way to analyze, shot mechanics basically. Yeah. But
my story, it's like, that's from like years of reading marketing books and how to tell a story, right? So
yeah.
Even though it is true, I think, they say that you should leverage like emotions, and like it's basically like the Phoenix story. Like people can relate to, that. So if you were to have it for basketball, like something I used to I told Jordan was like, the reason I went with Jordan was because people weren't picking me up in basketball, and I was tired of not getting picked up in basketball.
Yeah. Right.
So I'm sure, like, telling you that,
that's
probably come up with one like in the future.
I'm sure I can leverage it a little bit better, but it's, I can, actually, so backstory, but I think I told you that I was developing like the next, evolution or the wave of shot analysis is like adding like a mental component of, becoming a better shooter through like mental training and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I've created like a couple of formulas that are, translate to basketball, but then also translate to like life and like a performance formula. And I was asking a friend, like, hey, he's like getting something trademarked and, copyrights and stuff like that. And so I was like, hey, should I pursue that with these formulas? He's like, well, if you just write a book, then it could be, copyright. And I was like, oh, okay. And then when I played basketball in Germany, I reached out to a former teammate, and he was a walk-on on our team.
Yeah.
And then going into my senior year, and then I was the returning national player of the year. And so it's basically like the opposite spectrums of a team. And I was telling him, he the year prior, he would write for the sports information for our team. And so he just is a writer at heart. And so we like sat down and basically wrote 80,000 words or something, and kind of wrote a book on basically being the last guy on the team and the top guy on the team, and kind of like the journey throughout a season. And so we like wrote this book, and then he wanted to do it like unconventionally in terms of like getting it published and stuff. And it just like, it didn't work out. And so I reconnected with him and was like, hey, I got all this stuff. I think there's like the possibility or potential of a book. And so he like, let me read what he said. He's like, we need a hook for what you're trying to do, and his hook might kind of explain what you're trying to convey right now. So let me just find this real quick. He said, NBA personal trainer shares the mentality he imparts in his clients and the processes that took him from an undersized, under-recruited kid to a national champion, 2-time NCAA Player of the Year, and professional basketball player. So I was like, all right,
maybe
that's kind of like
more like hook elements to it, right? Like,
yeah.
Like I think some of the stuff that like the copywriters of Curry do are good, like where it's like he was undersized and he worked towards it and was able to develop, his shot, and it's just like ways to overcome your like what some person might consider like a disadvantage is an advantage, right? You have this like mindset where I'm not as tall as everyone else, so I have to develop my shot, right? That's motivating right there. That the people who resonate with that, where they're like, oh, I'm not built like an NBA person, but I could get a better shot. Those are the people who buy from Shot Analysis. And
exactly,
you're the brand behind it, and that's your story as well, if you could portray it that way. Which, I mean, you said you can, and you just told me, but it's just like, hearing it from you say it, that's where you'll get the perfect ad and the big bucks.
Yeah. Exactly. But yeah, so that's kind of like always been my shtick is I'm 5'10" white and not very athletic. So there has to be a way to compete, and it's shooting, and it's the great equalizer, and therefore being the best shooter will always give you an opportunity to play at whatever level.
Yeah. See, I should just send you these videos and then like post them, or you should record these consultation sessions we have and then you post them, because like this is just golden right here.
Yeah.
Okay. So, let's keep going.
Okay.
So I think I asked this before, but just to confirm, how are you generating leads? It's all just organic, right? Instagram?
Yes.
Okay, so if we were to give you 10 leads, right? Let's say Billie Jean came in and set up Facebook ads. What would you want them to go? Or what would you want them to, like, what would you want happening? And then there's kind of like these answers that Facebook could do. So I'm just going to let you answer so we can see like what your answer is based on your understanding of online marketing. And then I'll give you kind of some typical results.
Okay.
If that made sense. I don't even know why I said
wait, that. Was there a question, or I thought you were gonna...
If we gave you 10 leads, what would you want? Like, what would you want to happen? Where would you want the leads to go to?
Oh, well, I mean, we have like a landing page, and then hopefully they're gonna all 10 would sign up and buy. Right now, our 2 programs either flick or follow through or both.
Okay. So some of the things we get is like they could call in, or they'll give you an email, or we could make an ads that people will just like and follow your posts, right? So there's all different things that business owners could want happening, right? So we try to make, or my business partner Franco try to do what they want happening, and all of them have value, right? I think that sometimes you want to build a following as your ad campaigns, and sometimes you just want to build it straight to sales page to get sales, right? So if
Right.
you were to do one like right now or next month, would you want it to be a landing page, or would you want it to like kind of grow your Facebook page or whatever page you're looking to grow?
So, I mean, in in a perfect world, I would love for them to be happening at the same time. But I think building a better brand in terms of like Facebook and YouTube and stuff like that, where the videos are getting more hits or more shares and stuff like that, like that's valuable, right?
Okay.
And I'm a firm believer. Like I operated the first like 8-9 years of my life as a trainer was just word of mouth,
Yeah.
and just like going to people I knew, and I've been able to survive and do well off of that. But so if I'm clicking on something that's telling me to buy it, I know me personally, I'm not the best person to, or that doesn't really work on me. I'm like, oh, they're forcing me to buy it. Whereas if I have a friend that's like, hey, you should buy this product or whatever, I'm like more inclined, or hey, this song's really good, I'm like more inclined
referrals always get like easy buy-in. So a lot of times when I work with, I guess, more medium-sized businesses, right, we typically just replace whatever's working for them with just Facebook ads.
Right.
But I think in your case, like if we were going to build your business, I would have it go to, right now, I think your most popular thing that has social proof for you is your personal shoot coach one, right? 37,000. And I would start like making, at least I would have on your, eventually on your Instagram, put your, a landing page of some sort, right? So I'd
Right.
make Facebook ads go to your Instagram, where you would say like, hey, do you want to, like, I would start making your Instagram be more towards like shooting analysis, shooting breakdowns, and you say, hey, do you want to have more? I'll send you my top breakdowns, right? Give me your email address and I'll send you my top breakdowns of the NBA players I've trained. And so they give you the email address, you send them a PDF, and then you say, if you want more, follow me on Instagram. As they start following you, eventually you'll pitch to them, hey, I have this program that I made, an app, right? So that's kind of the sales process.
Right.
I don't know if Franco's going to say that. That's just what I would do. But, that would work. That would work. And you could get, like, spend a certain amount of ad spend to create copy about how you helped Julius Randle, improve his shot. And then you could use, like, the good old-fashioned clickbait articles, clickbait titles, like 5 secrets that Julius Randle did to improve his shot. Shooting coaches hate him.
Right. Yeah, no, it's it's funny, like I just like research, okay, what like posts work and don't work and stuff, and like try to browse like the search and what my search thing says I should like and all that, and it's like it's always the stupidest things that always work the best. And it's annoying, and I'm like,
that's actually what my friend who's like a serial entrepreneur told me. He's like, it's always like this, like when you're just joking around with your friends and then like someone actually decided to do it. It is like what works.
Yeah. No, I know. It's crazy. It's like, well, so I was thinking, okay, how could I leverage that mindset with what I'm doing for shot analysis? And hopefully you don't post this one to the public. We keep this confidential, but or just this part. But so like one of the things.
So. It's all good.
What's that?
I said I don't edit anything. It's all going live.
so you're saying I can't say this.
It is your call,
but
and it may not go on. Sometimes I don't even post it. I usually post them on like my course just for digital agency owners to see how I vibe with people.
yeah.
Like that's actually one of the things I teach people is how to vibe.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean,
there you go.
It is an important thing. Or mostly just say like just go make an agency out of things you have passion in, because I'm not gonna be able to vibe with like a. I mean, I could vibe with a dentist, but I don't know, something that like I don't have an interest in would be hard for me to have. Like we've been talking now for like an hour, right? Like
right.
That's what I tell people to do, and
no, like, and that's why I like have been basically the last 2 months trying to like figure out, okay, who do I want to pursue, or who do I want to like help me with this marketing endeavor. And have you heard of Upwork?
Yeah, that's it used to be like Odesk. It's how you do like freelancers.
Yeah. So like I posted an ad on that and just was like, okay, I had a friend that told me to just test it, and I got.
There's also Fiverr and Thumbtack. They're all good. I've used them before for previous engagements. Well, I mean, I'm not gonna say they're all good, but like as a business and you're trying to find the right people, eventually you will find a freelancer that could do the work for you.
Right. But yeah, so like I was talking to a few of them, and in many ways it was just kind of like they were regurgitating like just like Billy stuff, and I was like, okay, like you're not telling me things I don't know. And then they're like looking at my website and like, oh, this is a really nice website. And they're telling me like, oh, you should create something that they give you your email. And I'm like,
well, okay,
go to my website.
Say that sometimes when you hear something enough, it's like you should just do it, right? Because sometimes the things that have been said are the things you should do.
Exactly.
I think in like I'll think about like in my career so far, or whatever you want to say it. It's like sometimes like if I don't know if I told you about like Gary Vee or any of those top guys, or even like Billy. Like eventually, like you start thinking like, oh, they're all saying the same stuff.
Right.
And really, it's because like it's just there's nothing else to it except eventually you got to get into this like action mindset where you're trying one of it, right? So
yeah. But or I guess what I was getting at was like, it didn't seem like they were like sincere, I guess, in the sense of, what they were conveying or thinking they could do. And it's obviously on the fly and you're just trying to figure it out. But, like I said, a lot of what I value is kind of the relationship, and like you said, the vibe, and can you, are the, what you're pursuing, are they in line with each other, and does it make sense? And so, it's like you might not be the best basketball player, but you have a huge passion for it, and so do I. And so like we can always share that and try to pursue that, basically.
I think something that Jordan's been talking about in his Instagrams, which is like a key foundation, I think, for anyone who may watch this, if you're starting your own digital marketing agency or whatever, it's like it's about the transformation and not the transaction. Right? So Jordan, if you ever watch this, I literally stole it from you. But basically what you're saying is like at the end of the day, it's really important to choose who you want to work with, instead of like, I think a lot of times these people on Odesk or whatnot, sometimes they're just trying to make ends meet, and I don't blame them for it. I mean, like, if you need to make ends meet, you need to make ends meet, but sometimes it's better to kind of be a little hungry and find the right person than just take whoever.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I'm sure we deviated a little.
We're going deep here. We're going deep into life's problem. We're going philosophical here. Okay, where am I at? Oh, okay. Here's one. How much engagement are you getting on your what's it called? On your Instagram? That shooting coach one? Do you have like average numbers? You think like if you made a new post right now, what could you expect to reach or a new video?
So it's like when I post things that are just like me, like my last post, it like doesn't do as well. But when I post like things that are like breakdowns and stuff, they usually will have, you know, 5 to 8, 10,000 sometimes.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and then you know I still just have no idea how and what works, but it seems like the breakdowns of things, and usually if I do like I did something on Lonzo and it's like, you know, 50,000 views.
Yeah.
And
All right, time to just make Lonzo breakdowns.
I know it's what we were talking about, where it's always the clickbait or the things that are easy that do work. But yeah, so stuff like that. And then everything I've done originally with social media was like, you know, like Jordan.
Your trick shot one where you did the MJ. Yo, that was dope.
Yeah.
It reminds me of
Yeah,
like those Dude Perfect guys.
I know. Well, that's kind of, that was my staple for the longest time, is I do Trick Shot Tuesday. And
yeah, you should keep doing that. You should make this is what this is what I would do, but I would consider making it on YouTube because you could put tags on it, and Instagram can't do tags. You could do hashtags, but if you made those like just get an old one that you did, like your most popular trick shot, and just repost it, but put hashtag Dude Perfect, and do the same thing on YouTube, and see if you get more followers that way. Or not followers, post engagement. That's something I would test. Yo, that was pro. That was MJ. That was MJ.
Well, there's the things that I've acquired by playing basketball and listening to rap music and stuff, but I can dance pretty well.
Okay, that's on camera, right? I'm gonna call you out on this years from now.
Yeah.
Live stream dance-a-thon.
There you go. Basketball personality goes on the new hit dance show.
Dance.
Exactly. But yeah, so I guess we probably deviated from the questionnaire more.
Yeah, we got it down. So. I was checking your photos engagement. It's like around 1,000-ish as well. Okay, so who would you say are your competitors in your current space right now?
So from a product standpoint, there's Shot Tracker. Then you know, there's like products that are basically, you know, more geared for shooting and stuff like that. From apps, there's guys like, you know, Drew Hanlon, and he has Pure Sweat, and other guys like Jordan that, you know, just have their own apps, but I think they're more so just, you know, get better at basketball versus just shooting.
Okay. Do you know if they're doing any type of marketing?
Yeah, no, they're definitely doing marketing.
And you're talking about like Facebook ads or all of it?
But yeah, I would imagine all of it.
Okay.
They're pretty big, like either products or people.
Yeah.
That I'm sure have a lot more capital and resources.
Maybe. You never know though. Plus,
yeah, that's true.
The little guy. There's always gonna be the little guy. Right?
Exactly.
That's your brand story right there. You're the little guy.
Yeah. Little guy trying to become the big guy.
If we used an outreach, right? If we made an ad, what email would you want it for people to contact you?
We have info@shotanalysis.com, or if if I know that me personally, like certain things, it resonates better if it is like more of like a corporate type thing, but then there's other things where it's like personal. But I mean, it could be either or. Mine Andrew at Shot Analysis, or info at Shot Analysis.
Okay, I think as long as you have the domain, it's good.
Yeah, versus
like for
the Gmail.
I use like AN, like Alan Afredi at Blendlogic.
Yeah.
So do you have any, like, if we were to try to make ads, do you have any assets we could use besides what you've posted on Instagram? Like anything that may not have been posted? I know you said you did stuff with Jordan. Is that all stuff you're willing to share?
Yeah. I mean, you're talking like video content?
Yeah, or just anything really, like old copy you may have tried using, or any of those trick
Oh.
shots. Do you have like the source videos of those? Because we could always put
Yeah,
it on
yeah.
Instagram, but if you have the source of it, like, we could go through it.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I told you, I have more content and more video that we've probably only used 20 to 30% of it so far.
Okay. And I'm going to ask this question, but since you only have like 2 price offering value points, you don't really have the business value ladder, but is there a budget that you're willing to invest in contests or giveaways?
So,
like, let's say you gave away shoes, or basketball shoes, right? Is there a certain amount of money you'd be willing to give people to sign up for like a giveaway? I'm basically just restating the answer. Sorry, you can just answer.
Yeah. No, well, so that's kind of where Jordan, whenever I've asked him, he just like, yeah, we can do whatever. And I know he like does the Adidas shoes giveaway and stuff like that, where
so he
usually I just say, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you estimate that there's a monetary value on that, or?
Right. Well, I mean, I'm capable and willing to do, I guess, whatever. And so if it was like, all right, we need $500 and that's gonna, potentially turn into X, Y, and Z, like, sure. But if it's just like products, and I know Jordan has access to things that.
What if we did like a free trial of your subscription thing that you have right now? Would you be willing to like give away like 10 versions of it, 10 people free trials?
Yeah.
Even like a year, a mega giveaway like the rest of the year.
Yeah. No, like that's more or less one of the reasons why I made it
like a digital product, because there's no actual cost. Okay, so I'll put
exactly,
like
and so like
product.
And
yeah, because that's the crazy thing about like marketing now. It's like you could say I'm giving away a year's worth of shot analysis, and it's like whatever. What was your price? Is like 30 times 12, like 360, like $360 worth of value, free.
Right.
If you give me your email address,
right,
you have a chance of winning.
Yeah. No, that's I was like, all right, we can literally do whatever we want with this right now, because you can just give it away.
Yeah.
So
the next question is like what you're willing to do. So if you could do a giveaway 1 year of the digital product, and you also said you were willing to do like a shoe giveaway. Or I kind of put that in your head, but is there something like that you could think of that would relate to basketball that you'd be willing to do?
Like I would be willing to do the shot consultation, like, via like Skype or, stuff like that. Shot breakdown, stuff like that.
And I guess right now you don't have a price on it, so you'd have to make the price so that when we make an ad and you give it away, we have a value that they're getting, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's all stuff you could think about.
Right.
But I would say, like, even if you did give it away, you could say in exchange for a video testimony, like, if I help you guys, you give a video testimony, or even just record the Skype session, and then you could make that as one of your sales pages, being like, hey, look, you don't have to say in your landing page that these people were giveaways, but you'll be like, hey, people are
Right.
Skyping with me, and then that's how you
Mhm.
build the brand, build the business. So do you have
Yeah.
any testimonials available? I know you said Jordan could get them, but do you have any on hand that you could just be like, oh, it's in this folder, I have it, or you'd have to ask?
Yes, I think so.
Any
There's
big names that would you think would really help your brand, or just you'd have to ask?
I just have to ask.
Okay.
That, and then I mean, I've this past off season there were I have former teammates that are now like head coach like D3 programs and stuff like that, where they would like use our shot analysis programs, and then like my school, the Amherst College, is notoriously top 25 and everything, but it's like they you can say top 5 or national championship team, like the year they won it, were using or had people using this, and so there's like I have stuff like that. I have high school teams that are pretty good, like nationally ranked players, like stuff like that, that we can
Get
always leverage.
marketing info from them. Yeah. So besides your logo, is there any like other graphics that you would want possibly utilized in your sales funnels if we were to build out sales funnels for you?
I guess, can you give me an example of other things that would be helpful?
Like let's say you put like a chart that you made previously, like a graphic design of like charts or stuff that of like people shooting percentages, or if you made like if you've done like banners or flyers before of like your training sessions.
Oh, gotcha.
Because if you haven't had
I
it,
mean,
it's
there's
fine. I mean, we could always make content. Or personally, what I think like sales funnels should be is just a video. Like,
yeah. No, I mean, we've made like, I think I had Jordan make like if there's a landing video for like a free workout type of thing, where there's like just a video of him talking, like, welcome and da 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 da, and click below for your free workout or stuff like that.
So I'm going back in the questionnaire, back to the unique selling proposition. Would you say that Julius Randle is something that we could utilize? Would he be okay with like if you had a video of you guys training together, or?
Yeah. No, I mean, if you go back to like the summer, I mean, there's a bunch of on my page of us.
Okay, and
working together, and I have more videos and things.
Because I know that's what Pure Sweat does, but to be honest, I'm not sure if he asked them to sign a release form. So I could ask our team to look that up.
Well, I mean,
you might be able to
I've asked. I've asked him like personally. I was like, yeah, is it cool that I record stuff? And at the end, I was like, hey, I need something. And then he just does something, and then I post it.
Okay, that's good. Okay, because I mean, like, honestly, if we were to develop like a sales video, I guess, what is it called? Like when you storyboard it, right?
Yeah.
Like we'll come up with one, but eventually we'll need footage of you and these NBA guys you're working with. And as long as you have permission and they're fine being on an ad, then it will definitely help your ad, and it will definitely help your sales funnel.
Gotcha.
And then Billie Jean will be asking me for advice.
Yeah. He's always, every time I like see him, he's like always asking another one of my buddies, like, if they're happy at their job. He's always looking for new people. So.
Well, I just quit, so maybe I'll work for Billy.
Yeah.
What is the color scheme? This is the last question, and we're done. We made it. How long long were we
So it's
thinking?
black
5?
black and white is the main, and then we have like a blue and kind of, if you're looking at the OBS right now, like when your microphone is going, like that green, kind of vibrant green color.
Vibrant green, the color.
On the audio, that whatever you want to call that color green, but it's green, and then there's
Are you talking
the
about
volume
bar?
blue. Yeah, the bar that's moving.
Okay.
So
Green.
that one, and then the blue volume
I
tab,
literally
like
thought
basically.
that you were like watching my live stream, and I was like, the microphone. I was like, is he looking at my background right now? And I was like, I don't even remember sending him the live stream info.
No, I forgot that I have my OBS up. But yeah, it's basically, there's a green and a blue in the volume mixer.
Yeah.
That.
And it goes, yeah.
Those colors.
Okay, that's it, man. So, like, let me know if you have any more questions with OBS. But like, basically, what I did, and I've sent you these consultations before, is like, anytime you hit up someone, I would just like record it and then have your background in San Diego and just be like, yo guys, basketball trainer in San Diego.
Yeah. Well, I moved up. Was two things. I've got all the equipment now that I can start experimenting with it, and then I have like banners for shot analysis and stuff, but I can't, where I'm located right now, I'm like up on a loft, and I can't like figure out where to position them so that I can get them in camera right now. So that's like the next step. But I'm trying to create like the backdrop and like some of that stuff. And then, but then the next thing is my girlfriend and I, we're probably going to move soon. So I'm like setting all this up, and then I'm like, all right, I'm going to probably move and need to figure it out all over again. But no, I'm definitely taking that advice and trying to run with it, where incorporating more video and podcasts and vlogs and
so
breakdowns and
sometimes
stuff
when
like
I
that.
think about it, because I'm doing it myself, it's like, God, it's so much, but it's the mission, it's the duty.
Exactly.
That's what I just
yeah.
want.
And I told you, when I come out to Atlanta, I definitely want to meet up, and hopefully we can make some content out there.
Yeah, man. I'll take you to the Georgia Tech gym. It's crazy gym. It's like 6 basketball courts all up in the 4th floor. And it's pretty sick, actually. Actually, the whole gym is sick.
Yeah.
It's like all solar powered, and it's just crazy. I'm actually about to try and hoop it up now. But,
nice.
I'm going to tell my friends about what you said about the weighted ball, because they were telling me, they're like, I don't like it. And one of them was like, oh, I think it's going to help my shot. And I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Well, I think without, like, it's just kind of the same thing where people want like one tip that's like, oh, that's going to change my shot or my form or whatever. And people like think that really will change or affect their shot. But in all reality, if you change one, for the most part, but if you change like one thing, just from like a mechanic standpoint, if you alter your elbow, that's probably going to affect something else. And so the number one thing you can always do and just is be more aware of how you actually shoot. And so that's what I try to
right here. Make the article.
But it's just like great.
For me, I think there's more people out there, because I found a YouTube video which had like quite a lot of posts, and I think this guy's trying to make content on it as well. It's talking about like how biomechanically sometimes you can't tuck in your elbow, right? And
right.
Sometimes you have to like flare it out because that's how your genetics are.
Yeah.
And I used to
like there's crazy things with like the body and like people individually. I had a kid that I trained, who was like pretty good high school player, but he could not extend, like make a straight arm with and like his elbow could not fully extend.
I don't think
like
I can either.
Yeah, and
It's
so
the
like
camera. I actually get joint pain when I try to go straight. I might have tendonitis.
yeah, yeah. But no, it's just like the the best thing you can always do is just like know more about your shot and how you shoot and like how it feels. And if you the more you are aware of it, the easier it is to make adjustments. And just kind of back to that whole train of thought where if you're that's like what I told you. I was developing this mental shooting thing, and I was like, holy crap, I have like a life exactly. So, but no, it's like if you understand and are aware of things, then it's easier to adjust, and that's sports, that's basketball, that's life, whatever. But if you can adjust, for all everyone said Lonzo couldn't get his shot off and do this and this. It's like he's not getting his jumper blocked. He's not getting it stripped because he's loading the ball on the left side. Like he's played basketball. He knows how to get shots off. Um, but it's like, okay, well, he doesn't know how to adjust or the adjustments he's making are too drastic where he changes the rhythm of the shot. He's shooting slower or faster based off of how open he is, and he's taking different shots, and so it's creating so many more variables, which are therefore harder to adjust. And so like stuff like that are, to me, he shot over 40% last year, so he's capable of shooting at a higher level. But and that's kind of like the shot analysis stuff that I do. I actually have like because he hasn't played in the last few months. Every shot he's taken, I have his ASA, his score, and all that stuff. Yeah, but it's just like if he was more aware of his shot and what could work, you could just optimize his shot. And so it's like if the way his form is now, like maybe his ceiling is 50%, right? But his optimization or his adjustments are yielding a 35%. But then you look at Steph Curry and it's like his ceiling could be 60%, or maybe it is 55%, but he's adjusting better and doing whatever, and so he's 45%. And so like there's always room for improvement, but the key is like you need to be aware and you need to make adjustments, on the fly. Yep. Mhm. Yeah. Right. Mhm. Right. Mhm. Right. Mhm. Yeah. No. It's yeah. Well, yeah. I would need to practice on on how to use it, but yeah. No. I definitely want to do that and expand the brand. And one thing about yeah. So I'm game and happy to do all these things. Yep. All right. So what's our next step? Oh, yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Right. And so I guess would it be like I'd be working with Franco and his agency, or would I be working with you, or what's the breakdown of that? Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Gotcha. All right. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Well, like I like I was telling you, the key is pivoting or adjusting, and sounds like you are. And um like anything, if you get good or get better, there's more responsibility, and you have to delegate. So um hopefully that's starting to happen. But yeah, I mean, like I said, or my vision would be that this app and everything, like, we have X amount of people, and it's growing, every month, and that's a goal for the app. But then I want to analyze shots. I want people to be submitting and going through courses. I want to hop on calls, or I want people to hop on calls with people um, that I've either hired or are affiliates, and are getting their shot analyzed to improve and get better. And then you know then bigger things are things like with Will, and there's technology and stuff that are being integrated to the app and to the shot analysis stuff. And basically just building a brand around improving shots. And but right now it's like I need to be able to do a little bit of everything. I need to work with people in person. I need to um, you know market and do things for the app. I need to build content to post on social media. I need to analyze or try to analyze shots via Skype and stuff like that. So that's why, talking with you and trying to have a marketing plan and saying, okay, let's do this week or do this, like that's kind of what I need. So. Hmm. Yeah. Got it. Got it. Cool. All right. Well. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let's hopefully keep building. Yes. Yeah. 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 Oh, for sure. All right, man. Well, appreciate it as always, and let's keep it rolling. Yep. Okay. Perfect. I'll do that right now. All right. Thank you. Yep. Bye bye.